swinging a fly ball to left field deep. Way back! Way back! This ball is gone! A walk-off home run! Newport Gulls win it here in the 11th.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Swing and a miss! He struck out Galletti. The Newport Gulls have won the NECBL Southern Division pennant. They will go on to face the Sanford Mainers in the 2015 NECBL Championship.
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Swing, and that one is chopped. High. Donovan's really going to have to make a play to make this one. The throw to first is in time. One away in the ninth.
We got a high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. DJ Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his third season covering NECBL baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Rob Massey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Cardines Field. I'm Rob Massey. The Newport Gulls are on a 4-game win streak, including winning 2 on the road against the New Bedford Bay Sox, and last night the Danbury Westerners. They were rained out here against the Bay Sox on Monday night. They return to face the Laconia Muskrats, one of the best teams in the Northern Division. James Karinchak goes for the Gulls here tonight. We will speak with Coach Mike Coombs on the Gulls' success through this 4-game win streak. Also, Meg Kirby will be speaking with Max Bierman this afternoon in our Get to Know Your Gull. All that and much more as the pregame show continues, but the Newport Gulls shut out the Bay Sox last Saturday night, and here's our interview with the player of the game and the NECBL pitcher of the week, Michael Mertz. Here with the player of the game in New Bedford, it is Michael Mertz. Mike, what a great outing you had tonight. 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, scattering 2 hits. How are you feeling out there? All 3 pitches seem to be working for you.
Felt good. Pitches were working, but I had a good defense behind me. They were playing, making good plays and stuff. So without them, I wouldn't have went as far as I did.
They got the runs across the board early for you. How is it going out there as a starter and getting runs across early, working with the lead, and being able to pitch effectively?
It's a huge confidence boost. Guys are scoring runs for me, so I don't have as much pressure on myself. So if I slip up a little bit, it'll be okay. But no, they had my back the whole game, so it worked out.
3-game win streak for the Gulls, scoring a lot of runs early on. How important is it with such a short bench, a short bullpen as well, for you guys to get leads early and keep those leads?
It's definitely important. We want to score first. We want to score early and as often as possible. So we're doing that, and allows guys to go longer and farther into games. And the more runs, the longer we get to throw. So it helps out.
Thanks very much. Good win tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
The pregame show continues next.
Hey Gulls fans, welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show on the NECBL Network. I'm Meg Kirby here with first baseman Max Bierman. How are you, Max?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. So Max, you're from Tampa and now you're in Newport. Is there any kind of difference that you've had since you've been here?
Not a big difference. Tampa's a big beach area, so we like going to the beach down there. Just the big difference is a bunch of new people, a bunch of friendly faces, so it's been a good time so far.
Awesome. Also, what do you like so far of Newport?
Newport, it's just a nice beach town. It's a lot of tourists, a lot of new people. We've been to the beaches. They're very similar to our beaches down in Tampa. So the beaches, a lot of nice restaurants on the water. So it's a good atmosphere.
Awesome. So going from Villanova to Newport, what's the difference between the group of guys and everything?
Difference between the group of guys, wow. The guys are a bunch of clowns here. It's a very relaxed atmosphere here. It's a lot of fun with the guys. And here they are throwing gloves at me.
Awesome. What are you looking on to improve during the season as the season progresses?
Personally, I'm just looking to be more consistent about my swing. I feel like I've been a pretty good hitter lately, but just consistency in my swing is a big thing I'm working on here.
Awesome. What is your most favorite baseball memory?
My favorite baseball memory? I guess it'd have to be high school. My junior year, I hit a walk-off grand slam in the playoffs to push us on to the state championship game. So that was probably my best memory.
All right, thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Pre-game show continues next on the NECBL Network.
Welcome back into Cardines Field, everybody. I'm Rob Massey alongside Matt Tonis, who will be joining me on the call tonight, filling in for Patrick Cavanaugh, who could not make it. Patrick is finishing up finals up in Laconia. We wish him the best of luck on those up there. And Matt, we have two teams that are tremendous in the pitching column right now, both sub-2 ERAs. The Gulls 1.80 ERA, the Laconia Muskrats 1.99 as an ERA. Pitching very, very big in the month of June in the NECBL, but in general, pitching wins you championships.
Absolutely. Pitching is always important. You can never have enough pitching, but pitching numbers can be deceiving early on because guys are adjusting to using wood bats instead of the aluminum bats that are used at the college level. But still, sub-2 ERA, 20% of the way through the season is always a good thing to have.
Keith Weisenberg pitched very well yesterday. His first appearance in the NECBL for the Gulls this year. For a guy coming in, I mean, the staff got everything they wanted out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. He started off just throwing strikes, making guys swing and miss, and he did. He pitched through 5 innings very well. Then Tucker Baca came in, pitched 3 innings in relief in his first appearance of the summer. So 8 of the 9 innings for the Newport Gulls last night in Danbury were pitched by guys in their first appearances for the summer, and you could not have asked for a better performance from them.
And you were speaking with both the catcher right now, Drew Lugbauer, and manager Mike Coombs after the game about the adjustments for players coming in. It seems like everything is all green lights for the pitching staff so far.
Yeah, the strategy is just come in, throw strikes, just throw your pitches, and just get comfortable on the mound here. It's a different environment in summer leagues than from their college team. So you just have to come in, just realize that it's the same dimensions in the infield, same distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate, and you just got to throw your pitches.
And as always, Brendan Spagnuolo came in and pitched lights out in the 9th inning, pitched about 12 pitches overall to close out the game up in Danbury. A game that was not only a pitcher's battle, but a game that the Danbury probably played their best game of the season. They're currently 0-8, but probably played their best game of the season against the Newport Gulls.
Yeah, I was talking to manager Mike Coombs about it last night. He said that they were coming out trying to get their first win, playing their best ball, trying to beat a good team at home. You got to try to get that first win out of the way. And Danbury gave Newport all they had, but it just wasn't enough. And Brendan Spagnuolo came in and did what he's done all season and shut guys down, pitched a perfect 9th inning, and was able to get out of there with a win for the Gulls.
Defensively, Martin Tavares struggled early on at third base. We were talking to Tom Porter up in New Bedford a couple of days ago. He said that's not really a position that Tavares is comfortable with when he plays for URI in the spring. He's gotten very comfortable and made some tremendous plays over the last couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing defense at third base is always difficult, especially if you're not really used to it. You're not going through the everyday process. But he made some great plays. There was one attempted sacrifice bunt that he was able to get the lead runner on, made some other great scoops over at the hot corner, and was able to keep Danbury runners off the bases and keep his pitchers pitching from the windup and allowing them to go deeper into the ballgame.
For James Karinchak, he's making his 3rd appearance for the Gulls on this early season. He's pitched well overall for the Gulls. What are we looking for out of Karinchak tonight?
Kind of the same thing that Lugbauer and Coombs told me last night. Just pound the zone, just get ahead of batters. Same thing. Pitching is always it's a game of momentum. And the more strikes you throw, the better you feel, and the more outs you'll be able to get. And that's just what Karinchak has to do. Just make his pitches and hope that Laconia can't hit them.
This is an anticipated pitcher's duel here tonight at Cardines Field. Two of the best pitching staffs in the NECBL will face off tonight. Both teams on a 4-game win streak. One will have to leave with a loss in their 5th game. Hopefully it will be the Laconia Muskrats, not the Newport Gulls. The pregame show continues next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Newport Gulls pregame show. This is the manager show. I'm here with the manager of the Newport Gulls, Mike Coombs. And Skip, 4 games in a row you guys have strung together, and the last couple of games against both Ocean State and Danbury, you guys won a couple of close games. Good to get the 1-run ball game wins.
Oh yeah. You see what you're made of. We got the pitching last night, our hitting. We hit a little bit, but we struck out too many times and didn't put the ball in play there. But our pitching was extremely well and shut them down and hold them to 1 run. That's great.
Last night, 8 of your 9 innings were pitched by guys who just came in with Weisenberg and Baca. How good is it to have guys that just get in to Newport pitch that effectively out of the chute?
Well, we run them through, down in the pen, and we watch what they got. And chat a little bit, see where they've been and what they've done since they've been out and haven't been here yet. So it's not we just fire them out there. We make sure that they've got their work in, they've got their legs under them, and they're ready to go.
Now, Drew Lugbauer got the go-ahead run, well, the first run of the game yesterday. He's been so good both behind the plate and offensively. What's it like to have a catcher show that type of leadership both behind the dish and on the at the plate?
He's just a young kid, too, and that's excellent because that's what you want out of that position back there. He got drilled last night in the arm, so we're going to give him tonight off, and tomorrow's the day off, so that'll give him 2 days off to kind of rehab that where he got hit in the elbow. I mean, he took a bolt on there, so we're going to catch Miller tonight. Miller just came in, so put him behind the plate and see what he can do.
Now, long ride, Danbury is probably the longest ride that this team takes other than probably Vermont. Does that do anything to this team to be able to come out and play as well as they did early on? They scattered a couple of hits. They did score only 2 runs. Does that really wear on a team early on?
You know, the kids all travel with their college team. They may not travel as much as we travel, but they've traveled before. They know when to get their rest. They know, okay, they're up, they're playing some games, they're eating, it's all good. So I mean, that's a long ride, and we got to do it 2 more times. But we also got to go to Vermont. We got to go to Keene. We got to go to Sanford. We got some other places we got to go to that are a long ride, but they have to make the adjustment. Just like the other teams coming to play us, got to get off the bus, and Laconia is 3.5 hours from here. So, it's one of those deals. You just got to get off the bus and put your head together and get after it.
Now, we have 2 teams going tonight with the Muskrats and the Gulls that are sub-2 ERAs overall with the pitching staff. How much of this low ERA is the team still getting used to offensively, getting used to Wood, and how much of it is just talent in the pitching staffs?
Well, I think there's got to be a deal of talent. You can't just, especially in this league. And some of the kids are getting used to the Wood, but you got to have an arm out there, and he's got to be throwing some pretty effective pitches to get your ERA down, even now.
Now, tonight, you have a couple other players coming in. You said Miller just got in. He'll be catching tonight. It seems like the lineup or the roster is starting to fill out as players coming in. Must be nice to start having players on the bench and in the bullpen. Bullpen's starting to fill up.
Yeah, we had, our bullpen was looking okay, and then we had one player as a sub. Now we've got 2 or 3 now, so it's better. It gives you more options. And the guys that came in, I'm going to get Nichols in there tonight. I'll get Brody in there tonight, and of course Miller's going to catch. So we'll get those guys in and be like a little spring training game and let them get some hacks in and see where they are.
Oh, yeah, 4 under the belt as wins. Let's try to get a 5th tonight. Good luck tonight, Skip.
Thanks, buddy.
That's manager Mike Coombs here on the Manager Show. The pregame show for the Newport Gulls continues next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Rob Massey and the Newport Gulls broadcast.
And welcome in once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Cardines Field. I am Rob Massey, joined by Matt Tonis and Meg Kirby. This is Newport Gulls baseball. Matt, the Gulls are on a 4-game win streak here, beating Danbury 2-1 in the best game that Danbury has played all season as they dropped to 0-8. But they put up a tough fight last night in Danbury.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. The Danbury Westerners fighting hard for that first win of their season, but fell to 0-8. They pitched a great game, only 3 runs total in the game, coming in a flurry in the early middle innings. But Newport was able to weather the storm. They were able to weather the fatigue from that long ride to Danbury and come away with a win.
It was a long ride, 3 hours to Danbury. The Laconia Muskrats look good, too. They've won 4 of their last 4. They're atop the Northern Division. And what is really the key to that 4-game win streak thus far?
Well, Dion Stafford has been one of the hottest hitters in the NECBL this year. Through 8 games, he has 13 hits, 4 of those doubles, and 1 triple. He has 6 RBI and is hitting .406. And that's really been the key for Laconia. Also great pitching. They have a 1.99 team ERA. So they're doing it offensively, they're doing it on the mound, and they're able to piece together some wins. After starting off 1-3, they've had 4 straight wins to jump up back into the standings.
It is an interleague matchup between the Laconia Muskrats and the Newport Gulls here at Cardines Field. It's going to be a good one here. We're going to step away when we come back. We'll look around the rest of the NECBL and what else is going on in the league. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Cardines Field. The Gulls will take on the Laconia Muskrats, but here to tell you all about what's going on around the NECBL tonight is our third broadcaster, Meg Kirby. Meg, it's all yours.
Thank you, Rob. All right, from yesterday's games, we had Keene Swampbats fell to the Mystic Schooners 4-2. The Newport Gulls defeated the Danbury Westerners 2-1. The Valley Blue Sox and the Vermont Mountaineers canceled their game, and the Sanford Mainers defeated the North Adams Steelcats 7-4. For tonight's roundup, we have New Bedford Bay Sox and North Adams Steelcats in a doubleheader. New Bedford Bay Sox took the first game 9-3. We got the Plymouth Pilgrims against the Keene Swampbats, Danbury Westerners versus the Vermont Mountaineers, Ocean State Waves versus Sanford Mainers, and then your Newport Gulls against the Laconia Muskrats.
Thank you very much, Meg. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have our national anthem, the starting lineups, and the first pitch here from Cardines Field. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is a beautiful night in the city by the sea, Newport, Rhode Island. Hi, everybody. Welcome back in. Rob Massey, Matt Tonas, Meg Kirby coming to you live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are going to get underway here shortly, and let's start with the starting lineups tonight. Here's Matt Tonas with the lineups for the Laconia Muskrats.
Leading off for the Muskrats in center field is number 1. James Davison, batting second. At second base, number 11, Brian Mims. Dion Stafford, who's hitting .406 this year in right field, batting third. Will McKenzie at first base is hitting in the cleanup spot. Braxton Martinez, the third baseman, is batting fifth. Cameron Hanley, the designated hitter tonight, batting sixth. Ron Farley, the left fielder, batting seventh. Chris Gaffney hitting eighth. And rounding out the order is Vinny DeMaria at the shortstop.
For the Newport Gulls, getting the start today is James Karinchak. He's 2-0 on the season. That's a league lead with an ERA of nothing in 10 innings pitched, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, 8 walks for Karinchak, looking to get win number 3 here at Cardines Field. For the Newport Gulls, here's their starting lineup. Jovan Afner leads off. He's in center field. Reed Gamache is at second base, batting second. Cooper Elliott is in right field. He's batting third. Max Bierman is at first base in the cleanup spot. Darryl Miller makes his Newport Gulls debut. He will be catching tonight for the Gulls. Jeremy Wolf is in the sixth spot. He's the DH tonight. John Littell is at left field. He's batting seventh. Martin Tavares in the eighth spot. And rounding out the order is Kevin Baker at short.
Pitching today for the Laconia Muskrats is Patrick Vanderslice. This is his second appearance, his third appearance, his second start. In his last outing, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits while striking out 6 Danbury Westerners in a 6-2 Muskrats win.
It is going to be a good game here, Matt, as we await our national anthem. The final ceremonial first pitches here at Cardines Field on Middletown night here at Cardines. Middletown is actually where we pick up the bus. That's where we were in Middletown less than 12 hours ago, getting a ride home after arriving back from Danbury last night. It's going to be a good game. I'm very excited about this game. You have 2 of the best teams in the NECBL thus far. The Muskrats and the Gulls right now are 2 of the best fielding teams in the NECBL. They're atop the league, 980 fielding percentage, and 2 pitching staffs, a 1.80 ERA, team ERA for the Gulls, 1.99 for the Laconia Muskrats. Pitching wins championships in games and championships in this league.
Yeah, this year both these teams are absolutely well-rounded. They are built to win a title in the NECBL. Pitching numbers might be a little off of what they could be in July, since players are still learning how to use the wood bats, but still, sub-2 ERAs 20% of the way through the season is a very impressive mark, and one that you hope the Gulls and Muskrats can keep up the rest of the way.
And this is a debut for Darryl Miller Jr. for the Gulls today. He is going to be catching tonight for the Gulls. Drew Lugbauer did get dinged in the elbow last night. He got hit in, I think it was the 5th or 6th inning that he got hit last night in Danbury. Mike Coombs says he's all right, just needs a night off to kind of rest, and he's caught every ball game thus far. It's good to give Lugbauer a rest, and let's see what we get out of Darryl Miller Jr. tonight.
Yeah, Miller was impressive this year at UCLA, and Lugbauer has been great filling in. Lugbauer will be a great player for the Gulls moving forward, but right now you got to ease your new players in as they come from their college seasons, as they come from school, and Miller should have a good outing today behind the plate, and hopefully you have another guy that can play catcher defensively.
And defense is another thing, as we've been talking about, that wins games. Drew Lugbauer is great behind the dish, and he threw out another runner at first base last night in Danbury. And we have seen 2 catches in the last 2 years, you and I, here in Plymouth. Drew Lugbauer doing really well. Logan Koch in Plymouth last year just had a cannon on his arm. That's a position that is redeveloping in both college and in Major League Baseball when it comes to arm strength. For a couple of years now, actually almost about 5-6 years, you had catches that really couldn't pick off a runner over at second base. But we are going to step aside for our national anthem. The Middletown Police and Fire Department posting our colors, and the Middletown High School Choir with our national anthem. We head down to field level. That was the Middletown High School Choir with the Star Spangled Banner to get us ready for baseball here at Cardines Field. And Matt, we are nearly ready for baseball, and as they clear the field here at Cardines Field, a great night for baseball. It is 68 degrees here at game time. There's an east-northeast wind at 11 miles an hour. A very windy opening season here at Cardines. Something to be expected with the ocean right there, but has had a lot of play with baseballs. We saw that against Ocean State a couple of nights ago, including the fog that settled here at Cardines Field. Very hard to see through in the later innings. Let's get you our umpires for the game. Our umpire at home plate is David Chasson, and on the bases is Scott Davis. They will be handling the calls here tonight, the two-man crew, as our color guards are dismissed before we can get started here. Middletown Fire and Police Department. We're nearly ready for baseball, and we're going to set the defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls. For the Gulls today, at third base is Martin Tavares. Kevin Baker is at short. Reed Gamache at second base. Max Bierman at first. Left to right, John Littell, Jovan Afner, and Cooper Elliott. Darryl Miller Jr. makes his Newport Gulls debut behind the plate, catching for James Karinchak. The Gulls are tied in the NECBL defensively with a .980 fielding percentage. They have committed 6 errors in 8 games and have turned 9 double plays in 8 games, and that is the biggest thing defensively that has been excellent to see for the Newport Gulls. The middle infield turning double plays nearly every night.
And that's something that has led to such a low ERA for the Gulls staff. No matter if the pitchers are allowing hits or walks or however a player is getting on base, the defense has been able to erase base runners with double plays and has been able to limit rallies by turning 2 a lot of times this season.
Yeah, we talked about the team ERA where they are second in the league, 1.80 ERA overall. But other numbers for pitching statistics for the Gulls, they have only given up 14 earned runs. That is tied for the fewest earned runs given up in the league this season. And opponents are only hitting .209 against the Newport Gulls through 8 games. That is second in the NECBL. The pitching staff, pitching and defense win games, that we've been saying, but the pitching staff is lights out, especially for one that has been so thin beginning the season. The bullpen starting to fill up. 8 pitchers in the bullpen tonight, but originally we started with 5.
But maybe that's why the pitching staff has been so good. They felt that pressure of needing to get further into games, needing to eat up innings, needing to keep the bullpen guys fresh, and I think that has maybe kept Newport's pitching staff, the starters, their mentality straight, in that there's very little margin for error, especially with guys that you have such a low bullpen early on in the season. The starters are thinking to themselves, we need to get further into these games, keep guys fresh, and make sure, because we have a very small margin for error.
Laconia is doing very well. They've won their last 4, as we pointed out. They started 1-3 on the season. They're 4-0 on the road. Their home record 1-3, which is surprising. Laconia has been such a friendly ballpark for the Muskrats over the years. They usually do very well. 1-3 up in the Lakes region is very odd.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always usually a home field advantage, especially in leagues like this. The Newport Gulls obviously have one at Cardines Field. And there are other teams around the league, like in Keene, the Swamp Bats are very good at home. So it's strange to have such a good road record with such a bad home record. But if you can get the home record straightened out and keep winning on the road, you're in for a very successful season. 4
of the 5 starters for the Laconia Muskrats are over 300 on the season. Dion Stafford, we talked about, batting .406, a very, very historic batting average thus far early on in the season, batting .406. Brian Mim at .381, Cameron Hanley at .316, and Ron Farley at .304. All 4 of those members are in the lineup for the Laconia Muskrats, and they're stacked. It's not like they're the top 4 in the lineup. They are encompassed in the entire lineup, 1 through 9. Davidson is leading off. Mim is batting second. Stafford is batting third, but Hanley, which is the surprise spot, is batting in the 6th hole. That's great to have somebody in Hanley who is batting .316 from the 6th spot.
Well, it's very similar to the Newport Gulls order. At the beginning of the season, Kevin Baker was the hottest hitter on the roster. He's since cooled down a little bit, but he had the highest average and was hitting in the 9th spot, which is very strange to see in any level of baseball. So it all depends on where guys feel comfortable in the order, where people need protection, and what guys' strengths are. If you have a guy like Baker who can just make contact, kind of spray the ball around, and you have him at the bottom of the order to set the table for the 1 through 4 spots, you have a good order, and that's, I think, what Mike Coombs was thinking, putting Baker that low.
One of the backstories that has not gotten a lot of play early on in this season is the development of Martin Tavares at third base. When he first started at third base early on in the season, he seemed very uncomfortable over in the hot corner. He seemed like he was unsure of himself. And in the last couple of nights, and we talked about this a little bit in the pregame show, in the last couple of nights, he has played all-star caliber defense at third base.
Yeah, he has been amazing at third base. We talked to Tom Porter from the New Bedford Bay Sox. He said that that Tavares didn't spend a lot of time at third base, but he has found a very comfortable spot over there at the hot corner, making some very good defensive plays in every game so far this year.
James Karinchak has finished his warm-up tosses. We are ready for baseball here at Cardines Field. This is game 293 at historic Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island, the 15-year home of the Newport Gulls. The Laconia Muskrats, the road team, is in their road grays. Baby blue on the piping and on the jerseys, white and navy blue on the numbers. The first pitch from Karinchak misses high, ball one. We are underway at 6:40 here on the East Coast. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Thank you for listening all across the USA and all around the world. 1-0, big cut and miss by Davidson. That's 1-1. And combine the first and last name there. Karinchak gets the sign from Miller, kicks, fires the 1-1. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-1.
Good job by Karinchak early on, attacking the zone. First pitch was a little wild, but two straight pitches in there for strikes.
Karinchak shakes off. Miller gets the sign he likes, kicks, fires. That misses just outside, 2-2. The interesting thing here tonight will be how Darryl Miller Jr. Works with this pitching staff. Everybody's used to working with Drew Lugbauer, and getting a new battery mate behind the plate could cause some confusion early on. The 2-2. Check swing, misses outside and a bit high, ball three. Be a payoff pitch.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how Miller can communicate, see how many times he has to go out to the mound, talk to his pitcher because of confusion and signs. And that's always going to happen early on in the season, especially when a player just shows up.
Karinchak kicks and deals the payoff. Misses high, ball four. He walked Davidson to lead things off here at Cardines. That will bring up Brian Mims, the second baseman, as we said, batting .381. That is good for second overall for the Laconia Muskrats here tonight.
Number 11, Brian Mims.
The Muskrats overall have walked 20 times. That is third in the NECBL. The Newport Gulls lead the NECBL in walks with 37 overall in 8 games.
It's an incredible number. A lot of them were on opening night, but the Gulls have shown a great patience at the plate.
Karinchak from the stretch, checks the runner, kicks and fires. Bunt shown. It is a called strike at the letters. The Newport Gulls in their home whites. White pants, blue and orange piping on the leg and on the jersey. Gulls across the chest. Blue and orange piping in the lettering and the numbers on the back. Of course, Gully on the hat, black and blue hat. For the home-standing Newport Gulls. The 0-1, the runner goes. It's a called strike. The throw down is going to be not in time. Stolen base for James Davidson.
Davidson got a great jump on that one. Miller had really no chance. The pitch was good. The throw was on the better side, but Davison too fast.
Time being called here as Darryl Miller Jr. will head out and speak to James Karinchak. And this is one of the things that we just talked about. Is how many times Miller and Karinchak will have to speak with each other to get on the same page.
Now, I don't know what was happening in that conversation, but maybe Miller saw something over at first base and was trying to signal, but Karinchak doesn't know the sign that Miller was trying to give him.
Karinchak comes set. The 0-2 to Mims. That bounces in there, ball one, and a tough bounce off of the chest of Darryl Miller Jr. The runner's going to advance to third on an E2. Excuse me, I'm sorry, on a wild pitch. Apologies there. Here's the pitch. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Miller checks the runner at third, throws the first for the out, so it's a strikeout from Mims. The out goes 2-3.
One down here.
Back-to-back pitches in the dirt there from Karinchak. First one did not get Mims to swing. Second one did. And that was a good job by Miller, corralling that ball, looking the runner back to third base, and then firing a strike over to first to make sure they got the out.
Fastball, curveball, and a changeup featured by Karinchak here tonight. Runner on third base. One down here in the first. Karinchak kicks and deals to Dean Stafford, and it's a called strike. Stafford, as we have pointed out multiple times tonight, 406 on the season in 8 games. He is 13 for 32. From the right side, he waves the bat. Karinchak kicks, deals. Check swing, misses outside, ball 1.
It's going to be interesting how Karinchak attacks a guy like Stafford here, who's been hitting pretty much everything this season. Doesn't strike out much either. It's going to be hard to pitch to a guy like that, especially with a runner at third base.
Karinchak checks the runner, kicks, fires. That one is lifted to right field, but foul. Well out of play, nothing. 1-2. Noticing on the right field flagpole, we have Middletown's town colors flying under Old Glory tonight. Waving in the breeze. It'll be a 1-2 pitch to Dean Stafford. Karinchak from the stretch. Gets a sign he likes, kicks and fires. Misses just outside, ball 2.
That was a great pitch by Karinchak. That looked like it might have hit the outside corner, but a great pitch to extend Stafford's eyes to the outside, maybe try to sneak something else in there.
So Karinchak will have a 2-2 pitch on the way. Stafford waves the bat from the right side. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called outside part of the plate. He struck out one of the hottest hitters in the NECBL for out number 2.
It was pretty much the same exact pitch, maybe a little slower from Karinchak there. Just froze Stafford as that ball nipped the outside corner. And Karinchak has done a great job battling back from a runner on third base with nobody out.
Will McKenzie will dig in the cleanup spot, batting 150 thus far through 6 games that he has appeared in, and the drop-off in average is steep. It goes from 304 and 294 to under the Mendoza line for the Muskrats. The pitch to McKenzie, called strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. McKenzie digs in from the left side. Runner at third base is Davison. Karinchak gets a sign he likes. Sets in the 0-1, misses high, ball 1. It seems that Karinchak is working specifically away from the Muskrats hitters tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why that would be. Maybe trying to change the hitter's eye levels in the first at bat. Maybe work outside first at bat, inside second at bat, mix it up as the game goes along, trying to elongate his outing, trying to pitch away from the bats.
1-1. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate, and at the letters, 1-2. Which is odd because when Karinchak pitched the last 2 times, he was challenging hitters, pitching inside, just pounding the zone early on.
I think maybe it's because there is the runner in scoring position. He's not as confident in getting guys out or out enough to not let in a run this early, trying to pitch to as little contact as possible.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt at the feet of Miller Jr., and he will look the runner back.
That ball appeared to have nicked off the shoe of the umpire, keeping that ball from hitting the backstop. There is a shallow backstop here at Cardines Field, so maybe the runner doesn't get home anyway, but since the ball was resting right behind the feet of Darryl Miller Jr., no chance for Davison to try to get home there.
Every once in a while, you get a kick save in favor of the defensive team when you work behind the plate. That time, worked in the favor of the Gulls. McKenzie will see a 2-2 pitch. Karinchak stares in for the sign. Shakes off Miller again, comes set. Here's the 2-2. Inside, almost hit McKenzie.
It'll be a payoff pitch coming up.
Good job by McKenzie battling back. He was down 1-2 in the count and had the eye to take the next 2 pitches, working the count full, try to get something he likes.
Karinchak sets. Here's the payoff. Swinging a pop-up on the infield, going back is Baker. He makes 3 steps to his left and makes the catch for the out. That retires the side. 2 strikeouts in the inning for James Karinchak. And the Laconia Muskrats threaten but do not score after half an inning. No score from Cardines Field. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, we are going to pause 10 seconds for station identification.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back into Cardines Field, everybody. Matt Tonis, Rob Massey, and Meg Kirby coming to you live from historic Cardines in the city by the sea. Let's set the defense here tonight for the visiting Laconia Muskrats, and here is Matt Tonis.
Thanks, Rob. Playing first base, we have Will McKenzie. Second base, Brian Mims. Third base, Braxton Martinez. And playing shortstop, Vinny DeMaria. Outfield, left to right, is Ron Farley, James Davison, and Dion Stafford. And Chris Gaffney will be catching the pitcher, who is Patrick Vanderslice for the Laconia Muskrats.
Thank you very much, Matt. And leading off for the Gulls is Jovan Afner. Afner leads the Newport Gulls in batting average at .394. He had a career week last week, going 10 for 14, including a 5 for 5 night here at Cardines Field last Wednesday night.
Yeah, Afner started off poorly swinging the bat.
First pitch to him, lifted high to right field. Coming in is Stafford Jr. Making the call, and the catch, though, is the second baseman in Mims. He went out on an odd approach there. Mims had the ball called off the right fielder. It looked like Stafford really had that dead to rights.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he called him off, but as long as you're able to make a catch, doesn't really matter who does it.
Hey, and you know what? Vanderslice likes that 1 pitch, 1 out here early on. First pitch to Reed Gamache, misses away, ball 1. Gamache ended what was a 7-game hit streak last night in Danbury. Pitch hits the outside part of the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, last night was a game that nobody really swung the bat well other than catcher Drew Lugbauer. He was able to get on and was responsible for both runs.
Pitch misses inside, ball 2. However, he did get on base thanks to a walk, so he extended his on-base streak in the NECBL to 8 games. Look to extend it to 9 here tonight at Cardines. 2-1 misses high, ball 3.
Gamache is one of those players that if he doesn't swing, it's probably not a strike.
3-1 from Vanderslice. That one is lifted to right field. Coming on is Stafford Jr. Will fall in for a hit. Gamache on with a single to start his night here at Cardines.
Nice piece of hitting there. Just kind of a little jam shot out over the second baseman and just landed in between 3 players for the Gulls' first hit of the night.
So Vanderslice will have to go from the stretch here early on for Cooper Elliott. Elliott, who has struggled early on, is batting .207 and takes a called strike.
Elliott, however, one of the players who did get some good swings in last night's game.
Had a good night, had a good afternoon in batting practice too. As this one is line just past the diving glove of Di Maria for a single. Diving back to second base is Gamache, and he's going to get back in there safely. He thought about going to
to third base and second-guessed himself, just got back after the throw-in from center field.
Good job by Newport early on, seeing pitches and swinging the bat and making contact, just trying to hit them where they ain't.
2 on, and 1 down here for Max Bierman, who will dig in. This is not a lefty-friendly wind here at Cardines Field as it whips around. It was blowing from right to left at one point. Bierman at .235, starting every game thus far at first base this season for the Gulls. Facing Vanderslice, the pitch, misses low, ball 1. Vanderslice checks for a sign, gets one he likes, kicks and deals. That one is lifted to left field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Being waved around is Reed Gamache. The ball gets away to the fence. Coming around to score is Cooper Elliott. And it's going to be a 2 RBI double for Max Bierman. What a great piece of hitting as he sliced that one to left field, and it went all the way to the wall here at Cardines Field. The Gulls on the board to start things off in the first. They lead 2-0.
Yeah, that was a nice hit by Bierman. That line drive just kept tailing away right into the gap, and that got all the way out to that wall at Cardines Field. And the runners on base just kept going and going until they reached home.
You saw at third base Coach Leyva reading that ball, and as soon as it got by, pinwheeling everybody around. Darryl Miller digs in for his Newport Gulls debut at the plate. The first pitch is swung on, chopped to second to third base. Up with it, Martinez over to first, out number 1.
Miller wasted no time getting his first swing in as a Newport Gull. First pitch swinging, ground ball, third base. Easy play for the third baseman to throw over to first to get the out.
2 down here in the first inning for Jeremy Wolf, 6th man to bat here in the inning. Here's the pitch. That one is grounded to the first baseman. Up with it on 3 hops is McKenzie. He's going to go to Vanderslice for the out. That retires the side. The Gulls put a crooked number up on the board, and they lead 2-0 after 1 complete. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network, we will pause and acknowledge our copyright responsibilities here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fans, this is a reminder that this copywritten telecast is the exclusive property of the Newport Gulls Baseball Club and the New England Collegiate Baseball League, presented by the authority of the NECBL Broadcast Network for the entertainment of our listening and viewing audience, and may not be reproduced, recorded, or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game cannot be disseminated without the express written consent of the Newport Gulls and the Commissioner's Office of the New England Collegiate Baseball League.
Back here at Cardines Field, Rob Massey and Matt Tonis coming to you live. 2-0 your score here as the Gulls scored 2 to start things off in the first inning. And Matt, while we have a moment, Baseball Digest is doing a poll and a tournament for the top 40 ballparks in summer collegiate baseball, and Cardines Field is one of 2 NECBL fields that are left in this tournament. And you can vote by going to Baseball Digest, actually going to NewportGulls.com or following us on Twitter. The link is there for Baseball Digest. Let's get this Century-Old Ballpark into round 4 and win a championship as the best ballpark in summer collegiate sports here for the NECBL. They are actually up against our Pell Bridge rival, the Ocean State Waves in Old Mountain Field.
It's a
first pitch to Braxton Martinez is swung on and fouled back.
Yeah, Rob, there are 3 New England ballparks left. There is Old Mountain Field, there is Cardines Field, and Veterans Field in Chatham of the Chatham Anglers in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, one big cut and miss by Braxton Martinez, nothing in two. That was a power pitch by Karinchak. Hardest ball looks like he's thrown tonight.
Yeah, Karinchak has thrown some balls by guys early on this season, and he's done it very well today.
That one is swung on, a lackadaisical swing for out number 3 and strikeout number 3.
Just to correct one thing from earlier, Rob, they are not against Ocean State this round. If they advance and Ocean State advances, they will play them next round. They are playing Wacona Park
Number 10, Cameron Hanley.
in Pittsfield, Mass., a former NECBL park.
Former, though, is the key word in
Yes.
that. The pitch, and that one is fouled back as Cameron Hanley sees one pitch from James Karinchak, who's throwing a lot harder here in inning number 2 than he did in inning number 1. I didn't mean to imply that they were playing Ocean State. I'm just saying that Old Mountain Field is one of 2 left.
Right.
The 0-1 is a call strike, nothing in 2.
And obviously that is also a New England park, as I failed to add it earlier.
Karinchak from the full windup kicks and deals. Misses high, ball 1. That was a purpose pitch there by Karinchak, it seemed.
Yeah, trying to get a guy to chase for his 4th strikeout, but nothing doing.
Hanley in the DH spot here tonight for the Muskrats. Waves the bat, the 1-2. Check swing, ball 2.
Very close pitch there from Karinchak going up and away. He's been working a lot outside, as you mentioned, in the first inning, just staying away from hitters, trying to not pitch to a lot of contact early on.
Karinchak from the full windup, the 2-2. That misses high and away, 3-2. And this is the 3rd payoff pitch that Karinchak will have to deliver in 2 innings.
Yeah, and he's been staying away. Those 3 pitches look to be pretty much in the same spot, or at least going for the same spot in the zone, just barely missing and going full to Hanley.
So Karinchak looking for the sign from Darrell Miller Jr. Gets it, the payoff. Misses high, ball 4. He walked him, losing the batter after having him down nothing in 2.
Second walk of the game for Karinchak, both on full counts. The last one ended with the runner being stranded on third base. Karinchak hopes he does not have to pitch around a jam like that during the second inning.
Brings up Ron Farley, one of, as we said, 4 Muskrats batting over 300, batting .304 for the Muskrats. And this is an important spot for a guy like Farley. Batting in the 7 spot, but batting .300. The first pitch to him, and that one is going to be lifted to center field. Afner is under it for out number 2. Got good wood on the ball, but hit it off the head of the bat, it seemed.
Yeah, that was right at Afner. Had to move over a couple steps, but in the same general vicinity of where Afner was standing when that play started. But as you said, an important at bat for Farley. You can't have all of your best hitters hitting at the top of the order, because once you get past a certain spot, it becomes a black hole. You have to space out your guys, and Farley is that guy right now for Laconia.
Especially with such a drop-off with Laconia, their top 4 hitters are batting over 300, 406 for Stanford Jr., but then after that, it's the Mendoza line. Christopher Gaffney from the right side takes his first swings of the night, and we'll look at strike 1. If Gaffney were to reach, we'll see Vinny DiMaria, number 9 man. Runner at first is Cameron Hanley, reached on a walk, second walk of the night for Karinchak. Time being called now.
Karinchak has had to work hard early on in this game. 21 pitches in the first inning. Right now he's sitting at 11 pitches here in the second inning, so 32 pitches so far early on. That's not a place you want to be.
0-1. That's swung on and missed. Big cut there by Gaffney, nothing in 2.
Obviously, striking out batters will drive up your pitch count, especially if you're taking them to even counts even throwing one ball and a strikeout, that's 4 pitches. It's going to be hard to keep your pitch count low if you're also overpowering guys and throwing through swings.
Gaffney waves the bat. Karinchak sets. Checks the runner. The 0-2. Just outside, ball 1.
There have been a few pitches just like that one that Karinchak has wanted on the outside corner that he has not gotten. Has resulted in a larger pitch count, obviously.
It seems like it's, if anything, we're talking consistency here, and it has been consistent early on in the strike zone as the lamps have been lit in here at Cardines Field. 1-2 to Gaffney. We'll have to wait as a snap throw to first base. Back standing is Cameron Hanley as Bierman applied the tag. A little bit early, but it's starting to get overcast here at Cardines.
Lots of clouds overhead.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball outside part of the plate. Strikeout number 4 on the night for Karinchak, who is pitching beautifully, even though he has to work hard through an inning and a half. It is 2-0 in favor of the Newport Gulls. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom of the second here at Cardines Field. Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, and Meg Kirby coming to you live from historic Cardines on a great night for baseball here in the NECBL. It's the Laconia Muskrats taking on the Newport Gulls. 2-0 in favor of the Gulls thus far, and the Gulls are picking up right where they left off last night, where they're stringing together hits. The difference was last night they had a great pitcher against them. Not saying that Vanderslice isn't a great pitcher, but I mean, it was a quick game. 2 hours, 18 minutes total, a true pitcher's duel, a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, the pitching on both sides was great. They were working fast, they were throwing strikes, and that really was the difference.
First pitch to John Littell is a called strike from Vanderslice, who pitched well through only 12 pitches in inning number 1. This one is lined off the glove of Vanderslice. He is going to be able to make the play and throw to first for out number 1. A look what I found type of deflection by Vanderslice and able to complete the play.
And thankfully for Vanderslice, that ball didn't go too far away after it fell out of his glove. Just off the mound, was able to pick it up with his bare hand and throw to first in time to get Littell, who's not a slow runner, going down to first base.
Brings up Martin Tavares, who has been struggling at the plate for the Newport Gulls. Tavares batting .219 through 8 games. And it's one of those games as Tavares calls time, but delivering to the plate is Vanderslice. It's no pitch. Tavares has been struggling, and you can see the frustration growing, but he's been having good swings. It's not that he hasn't had good swings early on. The first pitch misses low, ball 1.
Yeah, Tavares has been swinging the ball well. He's been having good at-bats. The balls just aren't finding grass, and when they are, they're being picked up and thrown to first base.
1-0. That catches the zone inside at the knees. 1-1.
Tavares has made up for it in other ways, playing very good defense thus far, as we've mentioned.
The pitch, a called strike on the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Tavares looks back and checking with our home plate umpire, David Chasson, asking if that truly was a strike. And if they caught the outside, that one misses low. 2-2.
Tavares is really the first batter that's made Vanderslice work. Reed Gamache had a 5-pitch at bat in the first inning, and this will be the second 5-pitch at bat.
This one's a check swing into the net. We'll reset, we'll do it again.
That was an excuse me swing by Tavares, not even really a full swing. Just put it out enough where the ball bounced off it and gets another shot.
Tavares checking his bat, see if maybe he snapped it a little bit on that check swing. He's up at the shoulders. He tried to pull back. Harmless as it went foul, the 2-2 again. Swinging a chopper off the plate, back foul. Good battle by Tavares. First batter really to make Vanderslice work.
Yeah, he's fouled off the last 2 pitches, been able to hang in there, wait for something he likes, and can drive.
The 2-2 is strike three call on the outside part of the plate. Tavares doesn't like it, but he takes away the first strikeout for Patrick Vanderslice.
Yeah, as soon as that ball crossed, he was stepping out to take a practice swing to get up there for a full count. I looked back at the umpire, Scott Chasson, but to no avail. Still a strikeout. Now 2 down here in the second inning.
The first pitch to Kevin Baker, called strike, the number 9 man for the Gulls. And in the 9 spot, Baker's batting an even .300, and this one is chopped to third base. Braxton Martinez up with it on 2 hops, over to first for the out that retires the side. The Gulls go in order here, and we still have a 2-0 score after 2 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field, 2-0 your score in favor of the homestanding Gulls. Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, and Meg Kirby as James Karinchuk throws his final warm-ups and gets ready for his 3rd inning of work. Through 2 innings, he's thrown 35 pitches, man. He's really had to work. This is a different type of outing for Karinchuk than we're used to in the last 2.
Yeah, he's been throwing a lot of balls, a lot of strikes right now. 35 pitches is not where you want to be through 2 innings. Could make for a short night for him if he doesn't start pitching to contact a little more.
Actually see some stretching going on down in the Gulls bullpen, but I think that's just to stay loose here tonight. So it'll be Vinny DiMaria, James Davison, Brian Mims, 9-1-2 as DiMaria pops this one out of play and on to America's Cup Avenue. A lot of the youngins from Middletown and the Middletown Little Leagues here tonight at Cardines Field. Another great night for baseball here. Historic Cardines.
It always is in Newport.
The 0-1, that one is popped up. Baker in 2 steps and makes the catch for out number 1.
That's a much better job by Karinchuk getting 2 pitch out. Just trying to right the ship, be more efficient in his outs.
James Davison comes up. He walked his first time up, stole second base, and then was stranded at third after reaching there on a wild pitch by Karinchuk. The first pitch Davison sees, misses away, ball 1. First time through the order for Karinchuk. Not a bad 9 batters of work. Showing bunt pulling back is a ball.
No, not bad at all for Karinchuk. 2 walks, no really hard hit balls. Any balls that were really hit well were foul. Just has to keep trying to work that outside edge.
2-0. That one is popped up. Giving chase is Afner. Making the call in left field is John Littell for out number 2. Afner went a long way for that ball, but Littell, 3 steps to his left, made the call on the catch.
Another quick out for Karinchuk. Pitching to contact, guys are getting under the ball. So far, he has induced 2 pop-ups and 2 flyouts. And if you're gonna have some well-hit outs, you'd rather have them be medium depth fly balls.
First pitch to Brian Mims is a ball on the outside part of the plate. Karinchuk working again exclusively pretty much outside early in this game. 1-0, big cut and miss by Brian Mims. 1-1. That was a home run swing.
Yeah, Mims wants to get that first hit on the board for Laconia. He wants to get that out of the way.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss by Mims. 1-2.
That's 3 straight swings and misses for Mims, broken up by the first pitch of this at-bat. Struck out swing, then the first 2 strikes of this at-bat. Both big swings and big misses.
Karinchuk, the 1-2. There it is. Swinging a pop-up. Will reset as it falls into the crowd here at Cardines Field. It rolled up the net and into the crowd just to our right.
Got gravity?
Yes, I do.
calling time and stepping off the back of the mound is Karinchak. He's going to rub the ball up and get back on the same page with Darryl Miller Jr., who's getting the start tonight behind the plate. The 1-2 again. Strike 3 called outside part of the plate. Breaking ball. Strikeout number 5 on the evening for Karinchak, and he is spinning a gem through 2.5. 2-0 your score here from Cardines Field. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Cardines Field, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time, we'll check in with Meg Kirby and a look around the league.
All right, thanks, Rob. The Plymouth Pilgrims and the Keene Swamp Bats are remaining 0-0 in the bottom of the third. Danbury Westerners are falling to the Vermont Mountaineers 3-1 in the bottom of the second. The Ocean State Waves is falling to Sanford Mainers 5-0 in the bottom of the second. North Adams Steelcats and New Bedford Bay Sox continue their doubleheader at the bottom of first, 0-0, and Newport Gulls are leading the Laconia Muskrats 2-0 at the top of the third.
Thanks very much, Meg. We go to the top of the order here for the Gulls. Will be Afner, Gamache, and Elliott. They got things started quick for the Gulls in the first inning. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters accounted for 2 hits and 2 runs.
Yeah, something that teams are always looking forward to. Quick offense, early offense, get out to a lead early, let your pitcher go.
First pitch to Afner, misses away, ball 1.
And as I was saying during Afner's first at bat, when he swung at the first pitch, he struggled early on in the season, but last week got back on track.
The 1-0 popped up. Braxton Martinez back and makes the catch for out number 1. You know, it's one of those moments where you're about to make a point and then
something happens.
Baseball.
As I was saying that he had been improving and seeing the ball better, putting some better swings on, he popped out twice. Maybe I should stop complimenting him.
One down here in the third. One person who is doing very well is Patrick Vanderslice. That was only pitch number 25 through 2 1/3. The next pitch to Reed Gamache is a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Which is interesting because the Newport Gulls had 3 straight hits in the first inning, and he's still managed to keep his pitch count very low here in the third.
The 0-1. Outside part of the plate, just a little bit outside. Looked similar to pitch was called a strike just a pitch ago. 1-1. The 1-1 to Gamache is a ball outside. That time you saw Gaffney try to frame that one. Fans still trickling in here at Cardines Field as we're in the third. The 2-1 to Gamache, and that one is lifted to center field, giving chases Davison. He's going to dive and make a catch. What an incredible catch by Davison in center field. Call Bristol. That one deserves to be on tomorrow morning Sports Center.
Wow, that Davison was full speed. That ball was still tailing away, and he laid out, went level to the grass as he went for that ball, full extension, and made a catch. That was extra bases for Reed Gamache, taken away by Davison. Very similar to a catch that we saw last night in Danbury, in which the right fielder went into dead ball territory.
The first pitch to Cooper Elliott is a ball on the outside. Yeah, Maldonado made a great diving catch last night into the dead ball territory. It was a great strike. It was the best caught strike I've ever seen. The pitch is a strike to Cooper Elliott. What a great play by Davidson out there in center.
Yeah, I described that catch last night as the best live catch I've ever seen. I think that might just beat it.
The 1-1 misses away. Ball 2.
But nonetheless, 2 outs.
Plays like that fire up your team.
Yeah, especially when you're trailing early on the road. You need something to get you going.
The 2-1 misses away, ball 3.
And while it brings your team up, it brings the other team down, especially seeing that probably would have been a double for Reed Gamache. Runner in scoring position with 1 out.
3-1. Misses low, ball 4. He walked Elliott on 5 pitches. And after that incredible catch in center field, a 2-out walk.
That can't be the way Vanderslice wanted to follow up that amazing catch. You have the momentum. You have at least some momentum after an amazing catch, and you go and walk the next guy. You don't even let your defense try to make a play on a ball.
Max Bierman had an RBI double, a 2 RBI double in his first at bat. Similar to actually where Gamache flew out, an incredible catch. This one is sliced. Foul. Tell you what, that ball was slicing away from Davidson, and he just, I mean, all or nothing on a play like that. What an incredible play.
We saw his speed on his stolen base and how well he was able to read the wild pitch that he advanced to third on, and just another display there.
0-1 is grounded and stabbed on a backhand by McKenzie. He will go to third by himself for the out that retires the side. An incredible flash of leather by the Laconia Muskrats. Leave the Gulls scoreless in the third. They still lead, though, 2-0. You're listening to us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Hi, everybody. Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, Meg Kirby coming to you from historic Cardines Field. We go to the fourth inning. It'll be Dean Stafford, Will McKenzie, and Braxton Martinez for the Laconia Muskrats, who trail the Gulls 2-0. Back on the mound for the Gulls, James Karinchak, who has thrown 45 pitches through 3 innings. Had a great inning of work in the third. The first pitch to Dean Stafford misses low, ball 1.
In the third, he was able to only throw 10 pitches, get swings, get contact, get weak contact, which is the best kind for a pitcher.
1-0 is popped up. Gamache is under it. He makes the call and the catch for out number 1. Normally, this would be the spot where Patrick Cavanaugh will be doing play-by-play, but he unfortunately could not make the trip here to Newport as he is finishing up finals. I thought it was a collegiate final, totally forgetting that Patrick's still in high school, the youngest broadcaster in the NECBL. So we wish him well here tonight from Cardines. Pitch misses away to Will McKenzie. Ball 1.
Patrick Boy Wonder Cavanaugh.
Little Lima, as he's referred to sometimes. This one's fouled back, and that hit our camera back there. Jostled it a little bit. Everything seems to be fine. My first game in the NECBL with the Pilgrims in 2013 was with Patrick Cavanaugh, and I kind of was taken aback as there's a 14-year-old that's my broadcast partner, and you kind of wonder, what's going on? Is this a rib? But he's great at what he does. The 1-1, that one is lifted to center field. Afner giving chase. He will make the call and the catch in front of John Littell for out number 2.
Yeah, Patrick is a great broadcaster, especially for such a young age. He's wise beyond his years, as one would say.
Was the media director for the 2013 All-Star game up in Laconia. Full suit. It was like 95 degrees. He's in a full suit up there.
He's something else.
He is.
I'm not sure what that something is, but it's something other than something else.
The pitch to Braxton Martinez is a ball on the outside. Meanwhile, back here at Cardines Field, James Karinchak throwing very well in inning 3 and here in inning 4.
Yeah, he's adjusted, making guys make contact. Second time through the order.
This one is lifted foul. That will get down towards the Mudville Pub.
Better call.
I think the strategy for him was try to get through the first time through the order. That's what I was trying to say.
The 1-1. That one is lifted into foul territory. Bierman gives chase over by the outdoor seats of the Mudville Pub, and that will get out of play.
What I was trying to say earlier before my mouth failed me was get through the order once, try to make guys miss, try to get those strikeout numbers up, and then try to see where guys are looking and try to pitch to some weak contact.
The 1-2. Check swing, misses low, ball 2.
As the game went further on, get some ground outs, get some pop outs, make quick work of your second time through. Get to that third time through the order. If you can get through there, you know you've had a good outing.
Karinchak kicks and fires the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Strikeout number 6 on the night for James Karinchak, who is spinning a gem here at Cardines Field. You are listening to us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We will go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Gulls right after this. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Cardines Field. Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, and Meg Kirby coming to you from the city by the sea, Newport, Rhode Island. Patrick Vanderslice gets ready for his 4th inning of work. I would say, Matt, if we get through the bottom of the 4th here, we are in a true blue pitcher's duel.
Yeah, I would say the 4th inning is where it starts to look like a pitcher's duel, especially when 2 pitchers have been as efficient as Karinchak and Vanderslice have been.
First pitch to Darryl Miller Jr. is a called strike. Miller Jr. in his first at-bat as a Gull took the first pitch he saw and grounded to Braxton Martinez. Looking for his first hit in a Gulls uniform here. The 0-1. Swung on, chopped, and it's going to be fielded by DeMaria. Throws the first, and that was a great play by DeMaria. Great range by the shortstop.
Yeah, that was a nice play. For a little while, it looked like that was going to get through for a base hit, but great play by the shortstop, ranging and making a good throw to get Darryl Miller by a full step there to get the first out of the 4th inning.
I don't think we have seen truly a bad infield all season. Pitch to Jeremy Wolf, misses inside. And that is something that is an improvement over last year, just the strength of the infield for both the Northern and Southern Division thus far. Pitch to Wolf, misses low, ball 1.
Yeah, other than a few miscues that Keene had when they visited Cardines Field, one notably by the pitcher who that was just a complete breakdown of sorts. Very good defense has been played.
2-0, misses high, ball 3. Vanderslice gave up 3 hits in the first inning and has sat the Gulls down since the 3-0. Called strike to Jeremy Wolf.
9 straight Gulls he's set down so far. He gave up 3 straight hits with 1 out, and since then, very good, other than 1 walk in the 3rd.
3-1, breaking ball, a strike called on the outside part of the plate, 3-2.
So 9 of the last 10, but still very good outing from, he has not allowed great contact thus far, other than that one amazing play by Davison in center.
Payoff, swung on and missed. Second out of the inning, second strikeout for Vanderslice, who himself is only at 44 pitches through 3 2/3.
That is absolutely stellar, especially, like I've mentioned multiple times already, 2 runs, and he's still only under 50 pitches here in the 4th.
First pitch to John Littell, that's swung on and missed. A breaking ball dropped off the table, 0-1.
Littell has been a guy that's come in and has been a key part of games since getting to Newport. Usually it takes a couple games for a guy to make an impact, but he's made an impact in almost every game.
Next pitch misses away, ball 1. And batting in that, usually in that 7 spot, it's great to have guys that can flip the lineup like that. The 1-1 misses away, ball 2. Nice stab by the catcher Gaffney to stop that one. Vanderslice went off the back of the mound just to kind of regain his bearings there after missing probably the first pitch he's missed. He's truly missed his spot all night. 2-1.
Strike called, 2-2.
Yeah, he's throwing some balls low in the dirt, but those looked like designed balls to either bounce or at least get low out of the zone, make a guy swing. That's the first one that's really been completely away.
2-2. That one misses away. 3-2. So the second payoff pitch of the inning. It's only the second time that the Gulls have worked Vanderslice full all game.
Getting more patient as the game has gone on.
The payoff pitch, strike 3, called across the letters, inside for the out. That retires the side. Vanderslice strikes out 2 in the 4th, sets down the Gulls in order, and after 4, 2-0 in favor of the homestanding Gulls. You're listening to us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field, Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, Meg Kirby from the City by the Sea, and we are officially now in a true blue pitchers duel here at Cardines.
Second in 2 games for the Gulls, and when the offense isn't working, you really hope that you have a pitcher who can be out there and work. And Weisenberg did it last night. Right now, James Karinchak is out there throwing really well against the Laconia Muskrats.
Karinchak has set down the last 8 Muskrats, and this one is going to be blooped in for a hit. That will fall in the left field. Going back to first base is Cameron Hanley, and that is the first hit given up here by James Karinchak in the top of the 5th inning after going 4 no-hit innings here at Cardines.
Yeah, that's a very good piece of hitting by Hanley. Taking that ball low and away, just taking it the other way, down towards the line in left field, getting on base for the Muskrats, and taking Karinchak out of history, possibly.
Early, but yeah.
You never know.
You start to wonder in the 5th inning. Runner on first leadoff man aboard since the 1st inning for the Muskrats. Karinchak from the stretch, kicks and fires. Strike across the letters. 0-1.
Good job by Karinchak bouncing back. First pitch, strike. Just right down the middle, just getting back in his groove from the stretch, which he hasn't had to do much today.
Only the 3rd time he's worked from the stretch today. From the stretch, checks the runner. The 0-1. That one is hit to right field, falling fast, and it's going to drop in for a hit. So once they broke that first hit through, the Muskrats seem like they have figured out, at least early on, James Karinchak.
Yeah, that could cause a stir down and the Newport Gulls bullpen. It has not yet, but if Karinchak continues to allow solid contact like he has on the last 2, there could be something doing out in left field.
We were talking in between innings that Karinchak in the 4th got himself back to where he wanted to be. He was at 55 pitches through 4 innings. You want to be right around 60 if you're a starter to try to get yourself 6-7 innings of work.
Yeah, you want to be able to elongate yourself as long as possible. Just keep the pitch count low. Make sure that you're not wearing yourself too thin.
Showing bunt and getting a hard bunt down the first base line is Christopher Gaffney. It's a sacrifice bunt. The runners will go into scoring position. At 3rd base is Hanley. At 2nd base is Farley. The sacrifice is 3 unassisted. And there's actually a new rule that was not adopted by the NCAA in Major League Baseball. When you start retreating back on a sacrifice bunt up the first base line, you are ruled out. The NCAA has not adopted that rule. They are expecting to adopt it next year, but it's to prevent trying to elongate sacrifice bunts.
Right, especially if there's a bunt like just happened. Bierman fielded it immediately, and the batter
Gaffney,
yes, that's his name, retreated back towards home plate. He would have been immediately out. Not that it affected anything there.
That first pitch to DeMaria is popped up behind the backstop. Miller makes the call and the catch for a big out number 2.
As Karinchak fist bumps his battery mate. Huge out there for Karinchak and the Gulls.
Yeah, first pitch swinging, not what you wanted. If you're Vinny DiMaria, you wanted to get at least a fly ball, maybe a ground ball towards the middle of the infield, try to get a run home. That did not do anything positive for your offense.
James Davison, who has the catch of the night thus far for either side, digs in for his third at bat here in the fifth. Pitch from Karinchak, that's fouled back into the nets. 0-1.
Even with giving up 2 runners, both in scoring position right now for Karinchak, he's kept his pitch count pretty good in this inning. He's only at 6 pitches so far in the 5th inning.
Brings him to 61 overall, yeah.
So despite getting in trouble, the pitch count is still low enough where if he gets out of this unscathed, he can still get a few more innings in.
The 0-1 misses away, ball 1. And for two teams that seem to be very patient overall, offensively, free swinging on both sides.
And I think that's a product of good pitching. If you're putting pitches where guys think they can hit them, you're going to get swings, and if the pitch has enough good movement on it, or it's fast enough, or you're just placing it right, guys are going to swing over it, swing under it, ground balls, pop-ups, stuff that can be easily handled by your fielders.
Time called here by our officials on the field, trying to get 2 outs up on our scoreboard in right field. It'll be a 1-1 pitch to Davison. Karinchak from the set, kicks, fires. Misses high, ball 2.
Davison has been one of the more patient Muskrats hitters today. He saw 6 pitches in his first at-bat, 3 in his second, 3 so far in his third at-bat.
Karinchak gets a sign he likes, kicks and deals. That one swung on and missed. 2-2.
Big swing from Davison there. Really wanted to give that one a ride.
Couple of big home run cuts by the Muskrats here as they were trying to get their first hit. They have gotten their hit. Now it's try to put a crooked number up and tie this ball game. Karinchak, the 2-2. Misses away, ball 3. Now, a walk, while it would load the bases, wouldn't be terrible here for Karinchak, as a force out would be at any base.
And he's struck out Brian Mims, who's due up next. Both times he's been up today.
So it'll be a payoff pitch. Karinchak looks into Miller for the sign. He comes set at the belt. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, he walked him. Trotting down 90 feet is James Davison with his second walk of the night. And that brings up Brian Mims, who, as Matt alluded to, has struck out twice, one swinging in the first and looking in the third on a beautiful breaking ball in the third inning. The go-ahead run, 270 feet away, represented by James Davison at first. Top 5 here in Newport, 2-0 our score in favor of your Newport Gulls. Mims, the 6th man to come to the plate tonight in the 5th. Pitch, first pitch swinging, popped up into right field. Giving chase is Elliott. Making the call and the catch, though, is Reed Gamache. And Karinchak works out of a huge bases-loaded jam. And the Gulls still lead 2-0 after 4.5. We'll be right back here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the bottom of the 5th we go. The Gulls lead 2-0 over the Laconia Muskrats, and Patrick Vanderslice looks to put up another 0. These two pitches, Karinchak and Vanderslice, matching each other inning for inning, and with the exception of the 3 hits in a row given up by Vanderslice in the first inning, he has matched his counterpart from the Gulls and James Karinchak. Mirror images.
Yeah, both pitchers have been very good so far. They've been efficient, getting good, making good pitches and getting good swings.
First pitch to Martin Tavares, a called strike. As Vanderslice works quickly, and that one misses low, ball 1. It'll be Tavares, Baker, and Afner. If anybody reaches, we'll see Reed Gamache.
Tell you what, one thing I like by the Muskrats, a lot of the Muskrats wearing the high socks. Old school baseball with the high socks here tonight.
And it's a great color for the socks. I absolutely love the powder blue.
That one hits Tavares off the top of the foot. That one stung as he will trot down 90 feet.
Yeah, that's not a great place to be hit, but there are a lot worse places, as Drew Lugbauer being out of today's lineup shows.
Once again, Lugbauer is being rested by Mike Coombs to get Miller his first start here. There's no real injury to report, just giving him rest as he took a hard ball. It was a fastball off of the elbow, and that looked like it hurt. Originally, we thought it was off the ribs last night. It was off the point of the elbow.
Which is definitely better to be hit off your funny bone than possibly breaking a rib, especially if you're behind the plate. You gotta throw a lot, though you'd have to sit out for a while with a broken rib no matter where you are.
Kevin Baker, 0 for 1 on the night, grounded out his first time up, waves the bat with a runner at first. The pitch is a strike, outside part of the plate, belt high.
Nice pitch by Vanderslice, getting a ball in there. Not in a place where Baker could really handle it, so called strike one.
Snap throw over to first, back diving is Martin Tavares, and it seems like he's okay after taking one off the top of the foot. Looking in, long look in by Vanderslice this time. Gets the sign he wants from Gaffney. Snap throw over to first base again. Back diving Martin Tavares.
It's a pretty good move by Vanderslice for a righty. Obviously, right-handers can't really get a great move over to first base. The runner will see it coming. You just hope he's leaning the wrong way.
Vanderslice comes set. Checks the runner again, kicks and fires. That one is lifted to right field deep. Going back is Stafford Jr., and he will make the catch in stride for out number one. That ball had a lot of carry to it and then just died in right field.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting by Baker going the other way. Just that ball held up a little too long, and the right fielder Stafford was able to settle under it, make the catch, and send Tavares back to first base.
Number 1, Afner.
Jobin Afner has not hit a ball out of the infield so far tonight. He's popped out to second base and popped out to third base respectively in his last two at-bats.
Yeah, not a great day handling the bat for Afner. Also, he hasn't been patient either.
Pitch misses inside and low, ball one. Runner at first base, Martin Tavares. He was hitting the top of the foot to lead off this inning. One down here in the fifth inning as Patrick Vanderslice kicks and deals. That one is chopped, and it's going to be fielded by Mims. He throws to first. There's nobody home. That's going to be a clean infield hit there as Mims couldn't come up with the ball. Vanderslice tried, as we see here on the replay, trying to get under his glove. Mims went down for the ball with the bare hand and couldn't get to it.
Yeah,
so it's an infield single.
That ball was just well placed in the infield, really hitting no man's land. And for a fast runner in Jovan Afner, Mims could not get the glove down, transfer, and then throw to get the out. So he had to go bare hand, and obviously didn't work out.
Time being called here, and the manager from the Muskrats is going to our home plate umpire, David Chasson, and he's asking if that ball actually hit off of Jovan Afner. Now, from where we sit right behind home plate, I believe that it actually hit Afner from where we are, but we're behind the batter. I thought it hit him in the foot, and our umpires are going to get together. Usually, the base umpire, if he sees it, kills the ball right away on a play like that. It's tough to see from the infield, and if you do see it from the infield, it's called right away. Scott Davidson, given what he saw, and it looks like it's going to be a clean hit. That's nice attempt there by the manager from the Laconia Muskrats, whose name currently escapes me. I had it and it went away. Anyway, back to play here. Reed Gamache flew out on a tailing fly ball to center field, and a beautiful play by James Davison in his last at-bat. This pitch misses away, ball one. Gamache waves the bat from the right side. He's 1 for 2 on the night, scored a run in the first. The 1-0. That's a called strike. 1-1. One down, runners at first and second for the Gulls. First time they've threatened since the first inning. Vanderslice kicks and deals the 1-1. That misses low, ball 2.
This is an important at-bat for Gamache. 2 runners on. He's put the ball in play twice, had 2 very good chances for hits. One got down and he ended up scoring. It was the first hit of the game for the Gulls. Second one was an amazing catch by Davison in center field. So he's put some good swings on, 1 for 1, and trying to extend that Newport lead.
The 2-1. That one is grounded to the shortstop. Tavares had to leap over it. Di Maria goes to second on for 1. On the first, double play. 6-4-3 around the horn. And that sets down the Gulls here in the 5th inning. They leave a runner on, and after 5, they lead 2-0 here at Cardines Field. We'll step away. We'll have the 6th inning on the other end of this break. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Hey!
We go to the 6th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls. And making his Gulls debut today is Michael Bono.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. Michael Bono, pitcher from Santa Clara University. He's a sophomore. He was drafted in 2014 by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 35th round. First appearance this summer with the Gulls comes here against the Laconia Muskrats in the 6th inning.
And he gives way for James Karinchak, who pitched a great game, 5 innings of 2-hit baseball. He surrendered no runs. He struck out 6, and he walked 3 overall. Karinchak threw 67 pitches through 5 innings, but he really had to work through those 5 innings.
Yeah, early on, he threw 21 pitches in the first inning, and after that, you knew his night would be limited. I really thought you'd see him out here for the 6th inning, but I think Mike Coombs really wants to get his new pitchers into more games, and with a 2-0 lead here against a team that hasn't really hit the ball well today, it might be a good time to start rotating in your newer relief pitchers.
And he said in the pregame show and the manager show that he was going to treat this similar to a spring training game, so you're going to see a lot of guys getting stretched out here tonight. And it starts with Bono. The first pitch thrown to Dean Stafford is a ball.
Stafford, for a guy that was hitting .406 entering today, has not been great with the bat. Struck out looking his first time, popped up.
That's a big swing and a miss by Stafford, 1-1. He must be happy to see James Karinchak leave for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Karinchak had kept every batter on his toes, especially Stafford.
The 1-1. A called strike at the knees inside, 1-2. You could say that Karinchak kept batters in check here tonight.
You could say that. You're right. Someone could say that. I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
The 1-2 misses low, ball 2. I hated myself just a little bit for saying it. I'm not going to lie. It came to me, and I just had to. The 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the night for Dean Stafford. First strikeout for Michael Bono. That was a great breaking ball.
That was one of the more nasty pitches I've seen in the NECBL this season. Karinchak had some very good breaking balls, including one that got Mims looking in the 3rd inning, but that was definitely the best pitch I've seen tonight. That had Stafford swinging at air.
Will McKenzie 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch to him is a called strike. And the one thing we talked about how good the Gulls bullpen has been thus far, it's pounding the strike zone and challenging hitters, getting them to swing at pitches.
And they've done exactly that.
The 0-1 misses low, ball 1. And speaking with Chuck Pava before the season and in a couple of interviews he had during this season,
where the Gulls lacked last year was in the pitching staff and in the bullpen. He really wanted to load up the pitching staff, and thus far, it looks like he's done a tremendous job for 2015. That ball skips in there, ball 2.
Yeah, the bullpen has been lights out. Obviously, a very low ERA so far, 1.8 entering the day. Obviously, that looks to be going down today.
Next pitch is a called strike, 2-2. In the 6 Newport Gulls wins, 4 of them have been shutouts.
That's an incredible number. I don't think the Gulls can keep up that pace. I don't think anyone's expecting the Gulls to keep up that pace.
This one's chopped foul. We'll reset, we'll do it again.
But even if they cut that pace in half, that's still an incredible number of shutouts for a pitching staff. And this staff is loaded. They've fooled every team they've faced so far, and I don't see that changing soon.
2-2, breaking ball that misses away, ball 3. That was a pitch that got Stafford swinging.
Yeah, that was another great pitch. That one just a little bit outside, but good job on that breaking ball.
Payoff, that swung on and missed. The ball gets away. Miller's going to have to hurry up with this one, and he will not get it as the ball gets into, I believe, the Gulls bullpen. Excuse me, the dugout. So it's officially a strikeout, and it's going to be a wild pitch by Bono there.
That's the second wild pitch for the Gulls tonight. There was one in the first inning by Karinchak that allowed Davison to get to third base with nobody out, but he was able to pitch around that. Let's see if Bono is able to do the same thing here in the 6th.
Runner on first. One down here for the Muskrats, who threatened in the 5th and look to threaten here in the 6th inning. Bono, the righty, comes set high at the chest, kicks and deals. Breaking ball, it misses. Ball 1.
The strike zone seems, maybe it actually is getting a little smaller on the edges. There were some pitches early on that looked as good as, and that one was called a ball.
1-0, that skips in there, 2-0. We just hit 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. Want to thank everybody for listening to us on Point Streak here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. The 2-0. That's a called strike, 2-1. A beautiful night here in Newport, as we are at 62 degrees. We dropped 5 degrees, but it's a beautiful summer evening here in the city by the sea.
Just one of the best places for baseball that you'll find around the country.
The 2-1 misses away, ball 3. And if you think this is one of the most beautiful ballparks that you could come to around the U.S., you should vote for Cardines Field. Last day for voting in the Baseball Digest Ballpark Tournament for summer collegiate ball fields. 3-1. That one is chopped. Baker on the backhand goes to second. 1 on the first. Double play. That is the 10th double play turned by the Newport Gulls defense. What a beauty to end the inning. And they sit the Muskrats down here in the 6th inning. They lead 2-0 after 5.5. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and here is May Kirby with another look around the NECBL.
Thanks, Rob. Plymouth Pilgrims are leading the Keene Swamp Bats 2-0 at the top of the 6th. Danbury Westerners are falling to the Vermont Mountaineers 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Ocean State Waves are falling to the Sanford Mainers 5-2 in the top of the 5th. North Adams Steeplecats are leading the New Bedford Bay Sox in the doubleheader 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th, and the Newport Gulls lead the Laconia Muskrats 2-0 in the top of the 6th.
Thanks very much, Meg. The first pitch to Cooper Elliott is a called strike from the starter Patrick Vanderslice, who's out there for a 6th inning of work. We had some defensive changes for the Gulls in the top of the 6th. We'll get to them in a second as that pitch misses away, ball 2. The 2-0. That is a called strike on a breaking ball, and the biggest one was Martin Tavares went to first base. 2-1 misses away, ball 3. Sorry. 2-2 on that. 2-2, swung on and missed. And strikeout number 1 of the inning, number 4 on the night for Vanderslice.
Ladies and gentlemen, batting for first baseman Max Bierman, number 16, Dan Nichols.
And Dan Nichols is in here as he went to third base in the top of the 6th. Gets his first at bat as a Gull here. First pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1. The 0-1 is a breaking ball. 0-2. And this is what Mike Coombs said earlier in the day, Matt, that he was going to start cycling guys in that have just arrived, get them their swings. The 0-2 bounces away. 1-2.
It's strange to do it in a game that's as close as this one, though. But when you have that in mind going into a game, you don't really change unless something drastic happens. If you're down close or up close, you're really just going to follow the pattern that you thought you were going to have going into the game. If you're up big or down big, I guess it's the same kind of thing.
1-2 misses high and away. Ball 2. And as that was pitch number 70 on the night for Patrick Vanderslice. No action in the bullpen for the Muskrats thus far. 2-2 misses low. Ball 3.
Good eye by Nichols as he has been able to work a count from 0-2 all the way back to full, trying to get on base in his first at-bat in Newport.
The payoff pitch here, and Nichols gets hit in the foot, and he'll head down to first base.
Good job by Nichols working a walk there. That would have been a ball 4 if he had moved his foot anyway, so a walk is a walk is a walk.
Goes in the book, though, as a hit by pitch. Second goal to get hit in the top of the foot. There are worse places to get hit, but that one's not fun.
No, I can't imagine that it is. My worst memory of getting hit by a pitch was right in the elbow from a kid who was throwing 85 miles per hour. That one really hurt.
Which is why you're here and not out there.
Right. Also because of my lack of coordination and ability to run.
First pitch to Darryl Miller is low, ball 1. Miller 0 for 2 on the night. He grounded out to third base and shortstop. Two 2-0 your score here in the bottom of the 6th as the Gulls hold a lead over the Muskrats. The pitch to Miller, that misses away. Ball 2. Nice job there by Gaffney, sliding and blocking that ball in front of him.
Miller hasn't really seen as many pitches as you would think someone who just showed up would. It only took 3 pitches to get him out twice his first 2 times up.
2-0. That one is lined through for a hit. First hit of the season for Darryl Miller. It comes here in the 6th. Runners at first and second with only 1 down for Newport.
Nice job by Miller taking that one the other way through that wide open hole between first base and second base, giving the Gulls sort of rally here in the 6th inning.
We have another pinch hitter for the Gulls, and this one is Quinn Brody making his Gulls debut.
Brody, another player that Mike Coombs said he would try to get into the lineup today, as he has. There is now also action in the Laconia Muskrats bullpen. That is number 13, who is Brandon Sittinger, a junior from Ashland University.
So Brody looks to get an insurance run here for the Gulls in the 6th. And the first pitch he sees, he pops out of play, 0-1. A lot of free swinging by both sides, as we've pointed out. And the Gulls, who have been so patient over the last 8 games, it's interesting to see them kind of deviate from that plan.
Maybe it was sort of the game plan coming in, saying teams know that we'll take pitches. Maybe they'll try to sneak something by us early in a count, see what we can do with those pitches.
That pitch to Brody is a called strike. 0-2. That is pitch number 76 for Patrick Vanderslice, who you would have to assume, Matt, this will be his last inning of work.
Yeah, you would have to assume that. You have the action going on in the bullpen right now. His pitch count is getting high, not too high, but
The 0-2 fouled off, and we'll reset and do it again.
sorry, Rob. It's not too high, but when you're losing a game and you're kind of losing your stuff at least a little bit, you gotta maybe make a switch, try to change something, keep Newport off the board as long as possible outside of that first inning.
The 0-2 to Brody. That misses high, ball 1. Brody, the lefty, does some maintenance. Runner at first and second. It's Dan Nichols at second and Darryl Miller at first. Only one down here for the Gulls in the 6th. Vanderslice at the belt. Kicks and fires the 1-2. That misses low. Ball 2, and Vanderslice wanted that one.
Yeah, that ball was right on the outside corner, I guess just off the outside corner in the opinion of the umpire. So Vanderslice will have to go on the rubber and try it again to Quinn Brody.
He comes set checking the runner at second base. Kicks and deals the 2-2. That one is sliced through for a hit. Past the glove of Braxton Martinez. Being held at third is Dan Nichols, and the Gulls have the bases loaded here with only one down, and John Littell will dig in.
That's 3 straight guys on base, all new players. Great at bat from Nichols, working the hit by pitch on a full count. Darryl Miller Jr. with his first hit as a Newport Gull, and then Quinn Brody in his first at bat, pinch hitting for the designated hitter Jeremy Wolf, gets his first hit as a Gull, loading the bases for Littell.
Time being called here as Patrick Vanderslice will be visited. No call made as of yet.
During the short break, we have a rare event tonight. A Gull who is celebrating.
And this is
There's
a.
a signal.
They are making the signal, so we will have a new pitcher coming in. We will step aside. When we come back, we'll tell you all about the new pitcher. You're listening to us live on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
New pitcher on the mound for the Laconia Muskrats is Brandon Sittinger, right-handed pitcher from LaGrange, Ohio, and Ashland University. This is his first appearance of the summer for the Muskrats. So he will face John Littell of the Newport Gulls as his first batter of the NECBL season.
And he comes in a heck of a jam here. Bases full of Gulls, only one down. And he will face the number 7 hitter, John Littell. And we have been talking about how Littell has really been a fire starter for the Gulls and helped the Gulls stay right in this season early on, contributing to all 6 of the Gulls' wins here. First pitch to Littell is low, ball 1.
Yeah, Littell has been a pleasant surprise, in my opinion. I wasn't expecting him to come in and make the impact he did, just because he came in after the season started. Obviously, it usually takes some time to adjust.
1 check swing. They will check to the center of the diamond. Littell did not go around, ball 2.
Littell is hitting .333 in 6 games. He has 24 at-bats so far this year and has driven in 3 runs. That's immediate impact if I've ever seen it.
2-0, check swing. It's a called strike this time, 1-2.
Going back to that second ball, though, it's really tough to have the umpire on the batter's side of the infield trying to make that call on whether he swung or not.
I've been there a ton of times. It's a hard call. It's a gutsy call as that ball misses away. But you give your honest opinion. I mean, I have run guys up. Granted, this is in high school. I've run guys up on check swings from the strong side of the field being in that position, because a check swing is if you felt the batter intended to swing on a pitch. The 3-1, that's lifted foul. It'll be a payoff pitch here. The runners will be released on the pitch. Well, we'll see if the runners will be released on the pitch with only one down. The line for Vanderslice, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He is responsible for all 3 runners on. He's given up 2 runs thus far. Both of them have been earned, and he's on the hook. He threw 81 pitches tonight.
Overall, not a bad outing for Patrick Vanderslice. Tough luck right now, being down 2 runs.
The payoff, that one is popped up in right field. Stafford is under it. He will make the catch. The throw in is going to be cut off and will not be in time. It's a sacrifice fly. RBI for John Littell. The Gulls get their 3rd run of the evening, and Dan Nichols' first run as a Newport Gull.
Littell did exactly what he needed to do there, hit it deep enough to right field. Not sure why that ball was cut off. If that had gone to the catcher, it would have been a much tougher play at the plate. It would have Nichols would have actually had to slide as opposed to going in, standing up, and maybe Laconia throws him out and ends this inning.
Yeah, Sittinger cut that ball off. You wonder why he did that, because the ball was on a great line to Chris Gaffney at the plate. First pitch to Martin Tavares, misses low, ball 1, 2 down here, a runner already in. Tavares 0 for 1. He was also hit tonight. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. The 1-0. Misses low, ball 2. And Tavares, who has done so well defensively, would like to turn things around at the plate. Waves the bat from the left side. The 2-0. That one swung on, chopped to first base on 3 hops is McKenzie. He goes to first himself for the out. That retires the side. The Gulls scratch across a run here in the 6th inning, and they lead 3-0. You're listening to us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We'll see you in the 7th. We go to the 7th inning. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the nest here. Our broadcast position, Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, and Meg Kirby. And Matt, you and I were talking before the game. I think that we should get a yellow gold plaque for the press box here and rename it the Nick Lima Memorial Press Box, with 2 fedoras on either end of the plaque, right dead center, as our Director of Media Relations is sitting in here tonight.
Don't forget the ceremonial dipping of the mozzarella sticks.
Yes, every game.
First pitch of every game.
It's good. Nick will be on the broadcast starting next Friday night, taking over for me. I'll be on vacation. He will be here for our 15-year anniversary game against Danbury next Friday, and we'll be taking the MC role for all of our 15th anniversaries, the hot stove dinner and the game here tonight. It's going to be a great weekend here in Newport. Unfortunately, it falls on the week I go to Cooperstown, but it's going to be a lot of fun here in downtown Newport, celebrating 15 seasons of Newport Gulls baseball. We're working on the plaque, though.
It needs to happen.
Top of the 7th here, 3-0 your score. The Muskrats will bring up Cameron Hanley, Ron Farley, and Chris Gaffney. We have to do some maintenance here and corrections, as the first pitch to Hanley is a called strike. Martin Tavares switched his number. He is now wearing 24, I believe it is, or it's
38.
Okay, that my eyes need to be checked, and that one is grounded to Kevin Baker at short. He throws to first for out number 1. So we thought that Tavares went across the field last inning. He did not. Playing first base now is Dan Nichols, who is wearing 16, and a great play by Kevin Baker there for out number 1.
Yeah, nice play, staying low on that ball, corralling it, making that throw to first before Hanley got to first base for out number 1.
The left fielder, number 8.
Ron Farley digs in 1 for 2 on the evening. First pitch, and that one is chopped to Baker, who fields it on 3 hops this time. Fires over to first. Nice scoop there by the first baseman, Nichols. And they're 2 down.
That was a great play by Baker. Good read. He charged in thinking that he needed to make that play, but saw that Farley's not the fleetest of foot, was able to hold back, make a comfortable corral of the baseball, throw it to first just in time to get the second out of the inning.
And great for Michael Bono, who's thrown just 3 pitches in this inning and gotten himself 2 outs. Get the steak dinner if he gets 1 more out here on 1 pitch. The pitch misses for ball 1, so no steak dinner for Michael Bono tonight. That's a Tristan Hobbsism right there. That one skips in, ball 2. Tristan, the former broadcaster for the Ocean State Waves, said that if you were a pitcher and you got 3 outs on 4 pitches, the team was to buy you a steak.
What do you do if you get 3 outs on 3 pitches?
I have no idea. That one is fouled back. 2-1. I'm surf and turf.
Ooh. See, but I don't think that's very fair because Daniel Bard once set down all 3 batters, 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches.
That's true. The 2-1 is swung on and missed 2-2.
I feel like that's an accomplishment in itself that also deserves recognition.
We're talking steak dinners here in the 7th inning in a shutout ball game in Cardines Field. Michael Bono kicks and deals the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called inside part of the plate and at the letters. What a beautiful pitch by Bono, setting down the Muskrats in order. 3-0 Newport going into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As Take Me Out to the Ball Game plays here at Cardines Field, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 3-0 in favor of your Newport Gulls. And the Gulls will bring up 9-1-2, Baker, Afner, and Gamache here to face Sittinger. Here in the 7th in his first full inning of work, and what a beautiful sky out in left field and center field. A lot of purples and pinks, a picturesque night here at Cardines Field.
Reminiscent of the Gulls road uniforms, if you replace pink with orange.
Yeah, a little bit actually. Yeah, sure. Sure, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Take it or leave it. If you want it, keep it. If not, throw it back.
The pitch to Kevin Baker is a called strike. Let it not be said, we don't have fun here.
I hope no one's saying that, because if they are not listening.
Pitch to Baker is fouled over our heads, out of play. 0-2. I tell you what, these explosions and car crashes here, the sound effects, they sound terrifying.
They're too real.
The 0-2 breaking ball misses high, 1-2.
I would prefer it if they were more cartoony. Like I would really prefer like some less real sounding car crashes.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. Baker down by way of the K. First strikeout for Sittinger here tonight.
Maybe they're to scare batters from not fouling balls off.
Could be it.
Onto America's Cup Avenue behind us. I would just like to point out, as Jovan Afner steps into the box, that I did not compliment him during his last at-bat and he singled. Just pointing that out. I think he knows.
Brandon Sittinger takes a called throws a called strike to Jovan Afner. 0-1.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
The 0-1, that misses away. Ball 1. Now your goal is to befriend Ken Baca. Tucker Baca. I don't know why I said Ken.
I think you're thinking Ken Maka.
I am thinking Ken Maka. The 1-1. That one is lifted to left field. Giving chase is Ron Farley into the dugout, into the bullpen, and it's going to be a foul ball as he was in dead ball territory. That is the second foul ball great catch that we have seen in as many games, as he ranged a long way for that, and it's a tremendous strike two.
What an amazing foul ball there, caught by the left fielder in the bullpen. That was amazing.
Catch and carry rule in the NECBL. You can catch it and go into dead ball territory, but you got to be in fair territory or in play for it to be ruled an out. Though it's a tremendous strike two here for Jovan Afton, who has second life. The pitch, that misses low, ball two.
But back to Tucker Baca.
Yes, you want to befriend Tucker Baca, as he is an ASU Sun Devil,
Yes.
as you are.
We are fellow Sun Devils. I just think it would be great. We're spending our summers in Newport.
The 2-2 is fouled out of play. We'll reset and we'll do it again. As you see that picturesque sky following the foul ball. What a gorgeous night here in Newport.
One of the best ballparks in all of summer collegiate baseball.
And you could vote for that on the Baseball Digest website. The link is available at newportgulls.com and on our Facebook and Twitter. Last night to vote for Cardines Field. The 2-2 bounces in there, ball three.
What were we talking about?
Tucker Baca.
Right. Baseball. He pitched great last.
He did. He pitched well last night.
3 shutout innings. I believe he only let up 1 hit, his first action of the summer.
3-2. That one is lined through for a hit. Nice hit by Jovan Afton, sending it right back up the middle. And he has his second hit in as many innings.
That was great play, great hit by Jovan Afton. Drove that ball right back where it came from, out of the reach of the diving shortstop in
Vinny DiMaria,
Yes.
DiMaria, who made a couple of tremendous plays. He has great range at shortstop. Just went over that ball in the dive.
It's been a very well played defensive game so far by both sides.
And Reed Gamache steps in. Speaking of great defensive plays, Gamache was the victim of the best defensive play of the night as he looks at ball one. That was by James Davison out in center field, the full-out diving catch in the third inning.
Absolutely amazing play as that ball was tailing away from him. Made a full-on diving catch.
1-0 is fouled back. We'll reset and be 1-1.
I really like that there's a fence here. I know that one really wasn't hit off the fence, but I'd just like to point out that I enjoy the fence to protect us at Cardines Field.
People don't understand that we're jumpy because we're from Plymouth and we were not as well protected.
Or the fact that I was almost hitting the temple.
That's true.
During
up in Wareham.
Right.
Diving back is Jovan Afton.
No, yeah, I'm more jumpy because I was almost maimed by a Jeremy Wolf foul ball in Wareham a couple weeks ago.
1-1, the runner goes. The snap throw down to second base is not going to be in time. What a great throw by Chris Gaffney from his knees behind the plate and came very close to getting Afton out at second base.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing play if Gaffney didn't get up, he didn't crow hop, he didn't anything, and that ball was almost directly on target to get Afton at second base, but he slid in ahead of the tag.
Pitch was a called strike, so it's 1-2 here to Gamache, and that one is grounded. Scooped up by the second baseman, Mims, over to first, and it's going to be in time. Great play by Mims coming in on a tough hop there and making the play. Going to third is Jovan Afton, 2 down.
Nice play there by Mims coming in, making that play, and making the throw to first before Gamache could get to first base, because that would have been trouble, especially with Cooper Elliott up, who's been handling the stick pretty well over the past 2 games.
He's 1 for 2 on the night. He scored a run, singled in the first. He walked in the third and struck out swinging his last time up. Time being called here, as it looks like we may have a pitching change. Well, this could just be a conference with the infield to see how they're going to play with 2 down. No action right now in the Muskrats bullpen. There is stretching going on, but no active pitching, it seems.
Yeah, that's kind of a all right, well, you got 2 outs, get a third one, and come back to the dugout. I think that's exactly what was said during that mound visit. That's how quick that was. Now there is action commencing in the Laconia bullpen. That's number 9 for the Muskrats, who is
First pitch to Cooper Elliott, misses low for a ball.
Austin Easter. Sorry about the delay. Sophomore from University of North Carolina at Wilmington.
1-0. Here's a called strike on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. Sittinger, the 1-1. That's check swing. He went around. Elliott tried to hold up. He did not. 1-2.
Nice job by Sittinger on that one, getting Elliott to commit too early.
1-2 is chopped and stabbed by Martinez at third. The throw over to first base is not going to be in time. It bounces under the glove of the first baseman, Will McKenzie. And we'll see how they rule that. It's going to be an infield single for Cooper Elliott and an RBI as the fourth Gulls run comes across here in the 7th.
Yeah, that ball was hit to the left of Braxton Martinez. He had to dive, and even if that throw was on target, I'm not sure if it would have gotten Cooper Elliott, as he was moving very well down the first base line, and the ball got there pretty much the same time as Elliott's foot. So infield single on that ball for Cooper Elliott, his second hit of the night, and the Gulls now have a 4-0 lead in the 7th.
Starting to pile on here. Here's the pitch from Sittinger. Big swing and a miss by Dan Nichols, the new first baseman for the Newport Gulls, who was hit and came around and scored in the 6th. Max Bierman had a great night. He was 1 for 2, a double and 2 RBIs as that pitch is a called strike to Nichols. 0-2.
Interestingly enough, the same exact 1-2 pitch as his last time up.
That swung on and missed. Nichols down by way of the K. The Gulls strand a runner at first base, but they get another one across and lead 4-0 after 7 complete. We'll step away. Top of the 8th on the other end of this break. You're listening to us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field, we go to the top of the 8th. 4-0 in favor of the homestanding Newport Gulls. Michael Bono out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He has pitched excellent through 2 innings. He has 3 strikeouts over 2 innings. Will McKenzie did reach on one of the strikeouts on a wild pitch, but ended up being erased on the double play to end the 6th inning. Hi, everybody. Rob Massey, Matt Tonis, and Meg Kirby coming to you from Cardines Field.
Leading off the 8th inning for the Laconia Muskrats, the shortstop, number 6, Vinny DeMaria.
Vinny DeMaria, the number 9 hitter, comes up. He's 0 for 2 on the night. It's DeMaria, Davidson, and Mims. If anybody reads, we'll see Dean Stafford. The first pitch by DeMaria is off the glove of Tavares. He wheels and fires the first base. It's going to be in time. What a play. What a way to recover for Martin Tavares. Nope, wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. I think that call is going to be changed as the ball got away from Dan Nichols. It was in and out of the glove at Nichols, and our base umpire in Scott Davis ended up calling Vinny DeMaria safe. So we'll see how they score that as DeMaria reaches. You would think that it might be an error on the first baseman as he dropped the ball. It will be. It's an E3. Leadoff runners aboard. Ground ball to the second baseman, over to second, out on a first. The ball gets away, and going to second base, diving is James Davison. He is safe at second base, so it's a fielder's choice, and then an E6 as the ground out went 4-6, and then Baker threw the ball away for the second error of the night for the Gulls. Tough play there by Baker as he
kind of rushed the throw there, and Nichols couldn't get a hold of it. So 1 down, runner at second base still here. Brian Mims, 0 for 3 on the night. This one is chopped off of the glove of Bono. He will field the ball. Nobody will have a play. Everybody is safe. Mims is aboard with an infield single, and now all of a sudden runners at the corners, and the Muskrats start to threaten on a very strange beginning to the 8th inning here.
Yeah, that was quick and strange and all the odd adjectives wrapped up in one. There's an error, a fielder's choice and an error, then a single, all on 3 pitches, and there are now runners on the corners with 1 out here at Cardines Field.
You wonder if Bono let that go by, if Gamache would be able to come up with that and get out number 2. Went off the top of the glove of Bono, who comes set and deals to Dean Stafford, and that one's fouled. 0-1, and Stafford, who came in at 406, is 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts. If any hitter was due right now for the Muskrats, it's Stafford.
And that's a dangerous proposition for a guy that has 4 extra base hits already this year out of 13 total.
Stepping off to third base was Bono. Everybody back. We'll reset.
That last strikeout that Stafford had was on one of the nastiest pitches I've seen this season in the NECBL.
0-1 is line foul, and that will get down right outside of Cardines Field. So we went from a 4-0 ball game and what seemed to be a cruising Newport Gulls pitching staff to all of a sudden a very strange beginning to the 8th inning, and the Muskrats starting to threaten here.
But still a 4-0 lead, so there is enough wiggle room.
The 0-2 is a breaking ball that misses high, 1-2.
Enough wiggle room that Bono doesn't have to stress too much about letting that runner on third base in if he can get the next 2 outs.
Stafford waves the bat from the right side. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Breaking ball that is lifted, and Baker makes the catch for out number 2 on a humpback line drive that settled right into the glove of the Gulls shortstop.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Bono, is that ball was weakly hit on the infield, nothing doing
The first baseman.
By the base runners after that one, and all he needs to do is focus on the batter here.
2 down, runners at the corners here for the Muskrats, and the Gulls really want to get out of this inning after it started, strangely enough, on 3 pitches, 2 errors, a fielder's choice, and a single.
That's baseball.
The first pitch is low to Will McKenzie.
McKenzie hasn't hit the ball particularly well thus far today.
Waving the bat from the left side, Bono looking in, and will step off and try to get on the same page with Darryl Miller Jr. behind the dish. Waving the bat is McKenzie. Runner at third is Davison at first. Brian Mims. Time called now by the batter, and Darryl Miller will head out to the mound and speak with his battery mate. Now this is a little bit of what we were talking about in the pregame show and just before first pitch about a new catcher in Darryl Miller Jr. Not knowing the staff, this is his first game here with this pitching staff. Granted, this is Michael Bono's first outing for the Gulls, but still not having that that camaraderie that Drew Lugbauer does with most of the pitching staff early on this season. It's going to take a lot to get back on the same page.
Even with that, though, the Gulls are still pitching a shutout here in the top of the 8th inning. So no harm really in having those signs not 100% down so far.
Be a 1-0 to McKenzie. Here it is. That misses high and away, ball 2. The tying run still in the on-deck circle right now in the person of Braxton Martinez. McKenzie pinwheels the bat from the left side. The pitch misses high, ball 3. And all of a sudden, a very important 3-0 pitch here for Michael Bono.
Yeah, you do not want the tying run to come up in any shape or form, no matter who it is. Braxton Martinez, who's on deck, has not been great today, but he's still a guy who knows how to handle a bat.
3-0. That misses away. Ball 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls, and the bases are all of a sudden full of Muskrats with 2 down. There's a little bit of movement down in the Gulls bullpen. Not sure if anybody's stretching or starting to throw down there. We'll take a look as Michael Bono is in one heck of a jam.
Number 34,
And Braxton Martinez comes up. He is struck out looking, and he is struck out swinging. Also hit into an inning-ending double play in the 6th inning. Starting to see some action, a little bit of stretching going on down the bullpen. No active throwing thus far, so Bono is out there alone right now. At pitch misses high, ball 1.
That one was very close to hitting Martinez and letting her run in the worst way possible. But once again, all Bono has to do is get this batter out.
The 1-0. That's a strike. Let her high inside part of the plate, 1-1.
Because if he gets this batter out, doesn't matter what the runners are doing, doesn't matter how he gets the out, this inning is over with no damage done.
The 1-1. That one is grounded to Martin Tavares at third base. He's going to go to third for the out. That retires the side. The Gulls get out of a huge bases-loaded jam here in the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 in favor of the Newport Gulls. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
New pitcher in the game for the Laconia Muskrats is Austin Easter. Easter's pitched in 1 game so far, a total of 0 innings, gave up 2 hits and walked 1 in his only 3 batters. His opponents are hitting 1,000 against Easter, but he did not allow an earned run in his outing. He's hoping to advance further in his outing this time, actually recording an out for the Muskrats.
Inning and 2/3 for Sittinger here tonight in Newport. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned after coming in here in the 6th inning. He also struck out 2, walked none. Threw 39 pitches through 7 innings. Attendance here at Cardines Field tonight, 1,382 on hand to watch the Newport Gulls and Laconia Muskrats. 1-3-8-2 here at Cardines tonight. A good crowd, good sized crowd on Middletown night here in Newport, especially for a Wednesday night here in Newport with the school year still going on thanks to the winter that seemed like it would never end here in New England.
What was that like?
You know what? I hope you enjoyed ASU.
Believe me, I did.
It was depressing is what it was like. But I tell you what, one thing that we talked about and we've talked about all season here off the air is how much the snow in the off season did for Cardines Field. I've never seen this field look greener in my 3 years here in the NECBL. The first pitch by Easter is a called strike to Darrell Miller Jr. It'll be Miller, Brody, and Littell. If anybody reaches, we'll see Martin Tavares. The 0-1, breaking ball that's popped out of play. And it'll get down. And it'll be a no ball, 2-strike pitch to Darrell Miller Jr.
Darrell Miller is built in the same vein as Martin Tavares, just going up there swinging at anything that he deems swing worthy. While other players in this Gulls order, notably other catcher Drew Lugbauer, is up there trying to work counts.
The 0-2, breaking ball, check swing, misses for a ball.
neither approach is either good nor bad. It's just how you go about things. And as long as you're successful swinging the bat, it's a good strategy.
Miller waves the bat. It'll be a 1-2 pitch from Easter. Here it is. That misses away, ball 2. The Gulls lead 4-0 here in Newport as we approach 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and a gorgeous night for baseball, even with the sun finally setting in the low 60s here in the city by the sea. The 2-2, that is blooped, giving chase to the second baseman. Mims will make the catch, had to go a long way for that, as that ball caught a lot of air. I thought that was going to drop in for a hit, but it just stayed up too long.
Yeah, that ball kind of stayed at its apex for a second or two longer than one would imagine, and that allowed Mims to get over there, settle under it, and make the catch.
Quinn Brody 1 for 1 on the night. He has his first single, or his first hit in a Gulls uniform. Singled back in the 6th inning. The pitch to him from Easter is a called strike. In the 9th inning, the Muskrats will bring up their 6, 7, 8 hitters. Hanley, Farley, and Gaffney expected in the 9th. The pitch to Brody. Misses low, ball 1. Brody pinwheels the bat, setting his Easter, kicks and deals the 1-1. That is grounded to Mims at second base. He boots the ball, and it's going to be an error on the second baseman, Mims. Reaching is Quinn Brody, runner on, 1 down.
Yeah, that ball just ate Mims up. Tried to get over there. It just kind of rolled up the glove, up his arm, and into right field. That's a tough way to get a runner on base. If you're Laconia, you want to get out of this bottom of the 8th inning as quickly as possible. Get your batters back up there, get some swings in, try to cut into this lead, tie the game up.
Especially after what it seemed like getting to the Gulls in the 8th inning. Toss back to first base, back diving was Quinn Brody. That was not Easter's best. Just a warning to Quinn Brody. Easter comes set to John Littell. Kicks and deals. Breaking ball, called strike. Four nothing, 1 down here in the 8th, all in favor of the Newport Gulls. Runner on first is Quinn Brody. Easter comes set at the belt. Spins and fires over to first base. And a nice stop by Will McKenzie, who had to go into the backhand in the dirt to stop that ball. Easter checks the runner again, comes set. He kicks and deals. That misses away, ball 1. Easter, the third pitcher out of the bullpen the second pitcher out of the bullpen, third pitcher on the night for the Muskrats. He sets. The 1-1. That misses away, ball 2.
Littell has been one batter for the Gulls that has stayed patient all day. He's faced 2 full counts out of his 3, now his 4th at bat.
Snap throw to first base, back diving, and in safely is Quinn Brody. Yeah, his first full count he worked was in the 4th. He struck out looking on what was a nasty pitch by then starter Patrick Vanderslice, and then sacrificed his at-bat in the 6th inning for the 3rd Gulls run. The 2-1, that one is fouled over our heads. There'll be a 2-2 pitch coming up. And that has been the Gulls' MO through 8 games thus far, Matt, which is to work counts, get pitch counts up high on starters, and try to get into other teams' bullpens. Really not what they were going with early on here today, but they've gone back to that game plan in the later innings. Here's the 2-2. That misses low, ball 3. This is the 3rd 3-2 count that Littell has worked here tonight. 1 down, and the runner,
Quinn Brody. We'll see if he will be released on the pitch. Easter checks the runner, comes set at the belt. He kicks and deals. The runner goes. That one's popped out of play. We'll reset and do it again.
That was a good job by Littell, fouling that ball off, staying alive. It's tough when you have a runner going at first base. You need to stay focused at least a little bit on trying to drive that ball into the ground, because if he hits it up in the air or on a line at someone, that's a double play to end the inning.
Pinwheeling the bat is John Littell. It'll be a payoff pitch again from Easter. The runner goes. The pitch is a breaking ball, and that one is hit high to left field. Farley giving chase at the wall, and it gets down. Davison made an attempt at it, and going from first to third is Quinn Brody. That's going to be a double for John Littell, and good things come to those who wait. Littell got a pitch he could hit, a breaking ball that stayed high, and he hit it all the way to the wall in center field and got himself a one-out double. Runners in scoring position for the Gulls here, only one down.
Yeah, that was nearly the Gulls' second home run of the season, both at Cardines Field. Jeremy Wolf hit the first one, but that one came down just in front of the high-walled Cardines Field in left center field.
28 feet is the fence that surrounds Cardines Field here. Coming set is Easter. Kicking and firing to Martin Tavares, misses high, ball one. Tavares, who's wearing 38 tonight, changed his number with Dan Nichols, who now wears .16. The pitch, that one is chopped back. We'll reset, be 1-1. Easter has a 1-1 pitch to Martin Tavares. The pitch is grounded through for a base hit. A run will come in. Tavares has an RBI single. The ball gets away. Going to second base is Tavares. Here comes the throw, diving, and he's going to be out as 2 runs come in on Tavares, and that RBI single. So it's going to be a single and I believe an error on the right fielder, Deion Stratford. So it's at least 1 RBI for Tavares, an E9, and then the out goes 9-6. 2 down here. The Gulls have piled on and now lead 6-0 here in the 8th. The pitch from Easter misses, ball 1. So Martin Tavares would only get the 1 RBI on that. As coming in to score on the error was John Littell. This one is fouled. We'll reset. It'll be 1-1. Kevin Baker, the number 9 man for the Gulls here tonight, waves the bat from the right side. From the full windup, Easter's pitch. Misses away, ball 2. And the Gulls, who have won 2 games by 1 run, lead by 6 once again here at Cardines Field. They have won, this one's fouled back, they have won 2 of their 3 games here at Cardines by 6 runs or more. Actually, all of their games by 6 runs or more. They have had 2 shutouts of 8 runs or more here in Newport.
The Gulls just play better at Cardines Field. It's been that way since the Gulls moved here. It's been that it's...
The 2-2, it misses low, ball 3.
Teams always play better at home, but it seems that the Newport Gulls are the best of the best when playing at their home park.
Yeah, it's like one of those games. It's one of those things where there's a 3-2 pitch comes in from Easter, and that one is chopped. The shortstop up with it on 3 hops. Di Maria over to first for the out. That retires the side. The out goes 6-3. The Gulls get 2 across here and lead 6-0. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Gulls look to put this one in the win column here at Cardines. We'll be right back on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
New pitcher here in the top of the 9th inning for the Newport Gulls is number 36, Colton Hawk. This is Hawk's first appearance with the Newport Gulls this summer. He just arrived from Stanford University.
And Hawk has a 6-run lead to protect here for the Gulls. Michael Bono, as you hear the docile tones of Neil Diamond in the background, as those who remain of the 1,382 at Cardines Field sing along. Michael Bono pitched 3 innings of shutout baseball, giving up only 1 run in 3 innings. He struck out 3 overall and walked 1. A great relief effort by Michael Bono here.
Yeah, Bono did exactly what he needed to do. He was able to avoid any damage despite a weird start to the top of the 8th inning, to say the least. 3 pitches had 1 run, or one batter out and runners on the corners, but he was able to pitch out of that jam and preserve the shutout for Hawk to close out here in the 9th.
And it is definitely not sweet.
Cameron Hanley will lead off for the Laconia Muskrats, who trail by 6 runs here at Cardines Field as we just hit 9 o'clock here at Cardines. A great baseball game. The Gulls leading by a big margin, but for most of the game, a pitcher's duel. The first pitch from Colton Hawk is a called strike. So Hanley, Farley, and Gaffney are expected here in the 9th. The 0-1 misses low, ball 1. And if you're Colton Hawk, you're just coming out here and just acting like it's any other inning. You have a 6-run cushion, just throw strikes.
Yeah, and that's important for a new guy on this roster.
This one is popped up. John Littell in step, makes the catch, out number 1 here in the 9th.
Like I was saying, it's important for a new guy to feel comfortable, and there's no more comfortable feeling than a big lead at the end of a game when you're just trying to close it out. And there's really no pressure. As long as you don't give up 6 runs in this inning, you're getting out of here with a win, and you get to kind of experiment in a new league.
1 down here as Ron Farley comes up. He is 1 for 3 on the night. He singled back in the 5th inning. Looks to get things started here for the Laconia Muskrats. This pitch, a called strike. Nice breaking ball by Colton Hawk. Breaking ball, misses away, check down to first. He did not go around. 1-1. Infield playing straight up, outfield playing straight up here at Cardines, the 1-1. That one swung on and missed. 1-2.
Good pitch by Hawk, blowing that right by the batter, Farley.
Hawk has a 1-2 pitch from the full windup. Here it is. Breaking ball away. 2-2. And that, of the 4 pitches he's just thrown in this at bat, 3 of them have been breaking balls.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Hawk's go-to pitch as he goes through the summer. It's had a lot of movement.
The 2-2 misses low, framed by Miller. Still a ball. It'll be a payoff pitch here by to Farley by Hawk. Winds, kicks, and deals. Payoff is foul back. Will reset. And I tell you what, our dish cam has gotten some workouts here tonight. That's the 3rd ball off of the camera stanchion. Farley waves the bat. Hawk will deliver a payoff. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He struck out Farley. 2 down here in the 9th for the Gulls.
Most of Hawk's pitches in that at bat were of the breaking variety, but that one was a nice fastball that he blew right by Farley to get the strikeout.
2 down here, and Chris Gaffney will dig in. The catcher, 0 for 2 on the night. He sacrificed in the 5th inning on a hard bunt down the first base line. but struck out twice looking. The first pitch from Hawk. Here's a strike outside part of the plate. 0-1. One team tonight will extend their 4-game win streak to 5. Another will have their win streak broken here at 4. 0-1. Here's a call strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-2. And the Laconia Muskrats are down to their last strike here in the ninth at Cardines Field. Colton Hawk winds, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Gulls have won 5 in a row. They have shut out their 5th team here at Cardines Field, and the Muskrats snap their 4-game win streak. What a great win by the Newport Gulls.
Yeah, very impressive game all around by Newport tonight. He only gave up 3 hits, scored 6 runs. They jumped out to an early lead and were able to coast pretty much the rest of the way for a nice victory. 5 in a row for the Gulls.
Stay with us here as our post-game show is next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Stay tuned for the Newport.
The Newport Gulls defeat the Laconia Muskrats 6-0 here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls, here's how they scored 6 runs. They had 10 hits. They committed 2 errors, left 6 on base. They improved to 7-2 overall. The Laconia Muskrats, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors committed. They left 8 on base. They dropped to 5-4. James Karinchak tonight pitched 5 innings, gave up no runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He did have 1 wild pitch. He threw 67 pitches, 41 for strikes. He improves to 3-0. That is an NECBL league-leading record here. Patrick Vanderslice went 5 1/3 innings, 3 runs given up, all earned, 6 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He hit 2 batters. He threw 81 pitches, 47 for strikes. He drops to 1-1. Vanderslice will get the loss here. Karinchak gets the win. He is also our player of the game. The game took 2 hours and 26 minutes to play from 1,382 players. Our player of the game is James Karinchak. No home runs tonight. The next time the Gulls see the Muskrats will be next Thursday night as they lead this interleague series 1-0. That'll be next Thursday night in Laconia. 6:30 is the game there. Our next game will be Friday night here against the Danbury Westerners. Our pregame show will start at 6:05. First pitch at 6:35. And Matt, this is the 5th shutout in a row for the Newport Gulls, and the pitching staff is absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, they're on fire. This pitching staff has done everything to help this team win. Even the 2 games where Newport could not win, the pitching staff kept them in the game no matter how bad the offense was at the time. This pitching staff is right now the best in the NECBL, and I don't see that stopping in any time in the foreseeable future.
Not at all. They are just built to win. The pitching staff is absolutely tremendous. Their 5th shutout overall in what is now 9 games. That's an incredible statistic right there. And I will go down to the field level in a moment to speak with James Karinchak, who is our player of the game. But while we have a moment, let's check in with Meg Kirby. Meg, how's the rest of the NECBL looking tonight?
All right, we got the New Bedford Bay Sox are falling to the North Adams Steeplecats 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth. We have the Danbury Westerners are down from Vermont Mountaineers 10-1 in the top of the ninth. The Plymouth Pilgrims are tied with Keene Swamp Bats 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Ocean State Waves are falling to the Sanford Mainers 5-2 in the bottom of the ninth. And your Newport Gulls defeated Laconia Muskrats 6-0 in their final game.
Thanks, Meg. Back here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls just defeated the Laconia Muskrats 6-0. Joining us now is Nick Lima. Nick, what did you see from the Newport Gulls tonight in their victory over Laconia?
Well, Matt, the shutout says it all. The offense has been there to support these pitchers, and what you see here tonight is a team that's still in spring training. Newport Gulls general manager Chuck Paver has always said, in this league, June is spring training, July is the season. Well, here in spring training, the Newport Gulls have picked up now their 7th win, and we are here only on June 17th, and their 5th shutout of the season. To compare that to last season, the Newport Gulls pitching staff in combined shutouts had 3 in all of their championship season last year in 2014. Already here, 9 games in, 10 games in, in 2015, this team has 5 shutouts, and that's a testament to pitching coach Kevin Long and the pitching staff and the horses that Chuck Baber has brought here from Mike Coombs.
That's absolutely incredible how well this pitching staff has been able to perform. And the one thing that is of note, the Gulls are 7-2 right now, but they still have some pretty apparent flaws in their hitting. They haven't really been able to come up with the clutch hit when they've needed it so far. Obviously, they are 7-2, so it's not like they're playing poorly. They just could be playing so much better in certain areas, and being able to have the record they do right now against a pretty tough schedule early on is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and that's baseball. You never see a team go 42-0, but at the same time, this team is playing great on all sides of the ball. A few defensive tweaks to make, but hey, there's still players that have yet to arrive as well. You got the Vanderbilt guys, and they're in the College World Series. You got other players who are in the quarter system, and they're still in class, but they'll be in soon, or if not already here. This team still has some key pieces on the way. And when it's all assembled, they could do some very special things, perhaps some record-setting things this summer. We've seen it many times before from Gulls baseball, and it looks like 2015 we'll see it again.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to start out. At the start, it looks like a very special season is possible, definitely here at Cardines Field. Obviously, you have Darryl Miller Jr. coming in today. Today was his first game. You have the guys coming. You have Brody coming in from Stanford. You have guys that are just kind of coming in, trying to piece together a lineup right now, waiting until you are at full strength and able to throw out the best that you have. And this team has been able to do a lot with just temporary guys or guys that probably won't see the starting lineup much once the lineup is fully assembled.
And you saw Mike Coombs do it here tonight, do things that you wouldn't probably see in mid to late July or in the playoffs. You saw him use 3 pitchers when maybe 2 could have gotten the job done tonight. You saw him have a couple of defensive substitutions in the 6th inning, the 7th inning. That's to get guys playing time. That's to see who he has, because this is the month of June, where he finds out what his team has, what they can do, and then July, they got to roll. Remember last year, the Gulls, they struggled in July. Mike Coombs is going to make sure he knows what he has and he knows who he can trust to put out there when it really starts to count down the wire. This is still going to be a very competitive division heading forward in the NECBL. Great teams at Mystic, New Bedford, we've already seen them, in Ocean State as well. There's a lot of competition to go this summer. We're just getting started, but right now this team is on fire.
Yeah, early in the season, there has not been the apparent separation as there was last year. By the middle of June, you could really see, okay, these are the 4 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. It's just about positioning now. Who will get themselves into what of the 4 spots? Right now, there are 5 teams that could have a chance to make the postseason. One team is kind of falling off early on, but you have these 5 teams that are battling each other. Obviously, there have been blowouts among those teams, but right now the records kind of are even. But Mystic and Newport are kind of showing that they are the cream of the crop in the NECBL right now.
Yeah, tough luck for the Danbury Westerners right now, 6th place in the division. They're losing right now 10-1, bottom 8th against Vermont, and still have yet to win a game this season, but they can turn it around. They always have a good club down there in Danbury and have had quite a few major league talents come through in their history. Of course, they're the longest active team in the NECBL, not the oldest franchise, but the longest active team going back to the 2nd year in league history. But Newport and Danbury play each other a lot in the next couple weeks ahead, and we'll see if the Newport Gulls and the Danbury Westerners can have a rematch of that contest last night.
And last night was an amazing game. Tonight, another great game by the pitching staff. And obviously, pitching has been the story so far this season. Our player of the game, James Karinchak, 5 innings, got through most of those without allowing a hit. He did have a high pitch count early on, 21 pitches in the 1st inning. But he looks like a guy who can be a real ace for this Newport Gulls staff.
And this Gulls team has benefited, too, from the off days. And they've had that rain out on Wednesday of this week, which may be made up as part of a doubleheader. No confirmation yet, but later in June against the New Bedford Bay Sox, we'll get confirmation on that probably tomorrow. You have a lot of off days mixed in earlier in the summer this year. Last year, they were kind of stacked towards the end of the season, and they ended up getting filled by makeups and rain games. But, to have not a complete team to start the season, yet have players in place here winning games and those off days to help out too, it's really been favorable for the Gulls to start things off. They have another off day tomorrow.
Yeah, the off days have to help early on, but it's something that you may need later on. It's going to be tough when you have 5 or 6 games in a row Right now we're going to head down to Rob Massey on the field with player of the game, James Karinchak.
I am here with the player of the game. Thanks, Matt. James Karinchak. And James, you had a great game out there. You pitched 5 strong innings, had a no-hitter going for a little bit, but just a great pitcher's duel so far tonight at Cardines.
Yeah, we played well as a team. Daryl came and called a great game. Called a good game, and we made great plays behind me all day.
Now, talk about Daryl real quick, as he's the first time that he's caught you this season. Was there any adjustment with a new catcher, especially just arrived, as compared to having Drew catch you the last 2 games?
I mean, they're both excellent catchers, so it was a pretty easy adjustment.
Now, going out there, you get the first hit came up in the 5th inning, but you looked like had all 3 pitches going there against Laconia. What was the strategy going on early on in that game?
I was trying to get hit on the fastball and finish him off my curveball.
Now, it looked early on in the game that you were working away. Was that a strategy that was geared from start, or were we just working away? Was that more comfortable for you?
I mean, out half the plate was pretty open today, so I was just trying to hit it.
The Gulls have had 5 shutouts through their 7 wins. That is tremendous for this pitching staff. Just talk about how great this staff is so far. An ERA that is going to drop now under 1.6 as a team overall. What are you guys doing out there to just pitch so effectively early on?
I mean, we have a whole bunch of talent in the staff. Everybody throws strikes. Everybody has good off speed. We have a great catcher sticking behind the plate, and our fielders doing a great job also.
Now, until the later innings, it was really only a 2-run ball game early on in this game. What's it like for you as a pitcher to get a lead early and be able to hold on to such a small lead against a team that's just as good as Laconia?
I mean, I'm just trying to spot up and do my job. I mean, if they score, I mean, good job. But I'm just trying to do my job out there. Hope my fielders make the plays.
5-game win streak so far for the Gulls, looking for win number 6 on Friday against Danbury. It seems like the competition is getting a little bit tougher as everybody gets used to wood bats out there. Any strategy change from the pitching staff side of things?
We're just trying to get ahead of batters and beat them with our stuff, and not going to change.
James, great game tonight.
Thank you.
I'm going to send it back up to Nick Lima and Matt Tonis. That was our player of the game, James Karinchak. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Rob. Karinchak, pretty short and sweet with what he was saying. Just trying to attack, just trying to get pitches over. That's really all you need to do, because obviously guys aren't as proficient with wood bats as you are later in the summer. Early on, you just got to throw your pitches and hope to get outs.
And, right now, Matt, you're looking at this Newport Gulls team. It's starting to shape up. It's starting to form up. You're getting new players making their debut here tonight. The beginning portion of the season, I think, is pretty much officially over now. And here with their 5th shutout behind them, they're looking ahead, and that off day tomorrow, but right back here at home on Friday.
Yeah, and as the College World Series is finishing up, you're primed to see guys from the guys from Vanderbilt coming in, trying to make an impression, and once they get here, it's full steam ahead for the Newport Gulls. We're going to send it down to Rob Massey for his final thoughts on today's game.
Thanks a lot, guys. And before we step away this evening, let's thank all those who made tonight possible. Our executive producer and director was Tom Lima. Our graphics designer is Sharon Carlson. Our camera operator is Rob Sanchez, Alexa Scholl, and Andrew Spaziano. Our field reporter was Meg Kirby tonight. The production assistants were Blair Schneider and Maddie Peters. For Matt Tonis and Nick Lima in the booth, I am Rob Massey. The Gulls take on the Danbury Westerners, looking for win number 6 in a row here at Cardines Field on Friday night. We'll see you at 6:30 from Cardines. From all of us here tonight, good night, everybody.